asking, Robbie. Thanks
I
so
had a
much.
cold poop.
Hello and welcome back to rollxplay, where we roll dice and play games. Don't worry about what we're talking behind the scenes, because these guys don't know sometimes when I hit play. And also, don't worry about them in the corner. That's fine. We'll talk about this in a second. I like how you're trying to. Can you hold on to the bars? Can you?
I can wait. Something like that.
We'll free you. We'll free you. Don't worry. We'll. There we are.
No, put me in.
Thank you for joining us. This is Still Hearts. This is our weekend campaign at rollxplay. We have a plethora of campaigns that we do weekly, but this one always takes place on a Sunday and is the longest one out of all of them because we have the time spare to do it. Joining me is the entire cast. We're all here and accounted for. It's been 3 weeks since we've last played because we've been doing some other things, other special surprises to come as well. But that isn't about this, and this is about this now. So, to give us a recap, Alex, from behind the bars, if you could please.
Okay, so last session we kind of woke up and noticed immediately some problems in the city, and that is that, like, it lost all power, like all the arcane energy powering it was lost. Like, vehicles were affected, people's prosthetics, basically anything and everything in the city. And we knew that, like, the arcane generators are on the mountains. Like, there are 2 mountains in the city, and one of the mountains was kind of a little bit dull. So we wanted to see what's up. And there were kind of 2 avenues to choose. We know that because Zeftel, Flying City, is kind of flying above Alakshayr right now, and it does generate lightning of some sorts. We were like, maybe that had, or there is lightning around it, I guess. And then we also know that House Relendir is responsible for, like, mountains and the arcane. So for some reason, our first order of business was trying to get into Zeftal by flying into Zeftal, which means brace for the storm, because we had kind of a wild ride up there, kind of redirected lightning up in the air, and got hurt a little, but, you know, land in Zeftal, get arrested immediately because we didn't notify anyone we were coming into Zeftal, but you know, acting before thinking is our motto. So we kind of explain our situation to the guards, and they actually were willing to let us off the hook, but they did want us to gain some leverage, because obviously everyone is going to suspect that they had something to do with the power outage, even though they didn't. So we were like, you got it, boss. And then we went down, and then we went to, like, the Magic Academy that the House Relendir had, or, like, sponsors, however you want to say it. Well, let me see. So we kind of made a plan. Van disguised themselves as a student to try to figure out, like, deeper in the school, like, what's going on. Mobius was kind of like the distraction as well. Had a little bit of a Karen arc. And Finel went to talk with what's his name? I'm sorry, I forgot. The, like,
Talon.
What?
Talon.
Talon. I'm sorry. I know it was T something. To see, like, what was happening. So Van got into, like, a class of one of the teachers who is Visoma.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. and she is of the house Ralandir. And they had a very long and very tense conversation because there was some strange box, kind of like a new invention that they so conveniently made right now that can like harness magic after like magic in the city is gone, which is so nice, so kind. But it didn't go so well. It really didn't go so well. She saw through the disguise, and we kind of had a chase sequence, and incited a student protest, and then kind of had like a speech. We like transferred to the whole city. And then we kind of got arrested again, and that's where we are now.
Very good. Thank you very much, Alex, for the detailed recap. I completely forgot about the fact that you guys went through the storm. That just went over my head. That part I was just laughing at in the recap. Excellent. Yes, so that's where we are currently. Half the party, pretty much most of them, are up in the sky, being escorted by the fire giants to one of their main capital ships that are hovering overhead. However, we're going to focus on one person who wasn't there, and that is Sienna. Sienna, throughout the day, you've kind of been helping with the initial steps for your additional friends who have been staying from the Pharaoh Judgment group. They have no sort of group name, but they wanted to ingratiate themselves into the sort of barracks and the guards here to help out alongside the rest of you with what this city is trying to provide. Using your connections with both Roygar, the seemingly commander of the fire giants here on the ground, as well as Rudy, one of the captains that you worked with for a while during your downtime, to get these people initiated. And you run through drills, and there's also a bit of tension in the air as they talk back and forth about what's been going on with this sort of power outage as well. Trying to understand what's happened, where things have gone wrong, but everyone seems to be none the wiser. It's a little bit of a confusing time, and at some points you see Roygar has to leave and then help out whoever he can as he is called away. But as you are left with the others, you just hear this sort of voice that you recognize being echoed across the entire city. You hear the speech that Ven and the others were making in the last session. As you turn around after hearing it, the voice carries throughout the streets, even inside of the homes. You see people leaving their houses to look outside to see what is happening. And they all turn up towards the two mountains, and right in between, you see your three allies just silhouetted through shadow-based magic. The colors are real and the forms are quite proportional. However, there is an element of still parts of secrecy. They're not fully unveiled. You can recognize them straight away because you know them inside and out. Meanwhile, others may look at them and just see sort of a silhouetted image with sort of eyes looking at them. But you hear the speech given out. What is Sienna's reaction to seeing this for the first time?
Slight confusion because what the fuck? But then also like, okay, sure, we're rolling with this. And then she's just looking around trying to gather how the people are reacting. If anyone's panicking due to some revelations being made, see if there's any unrest, see if she can help keep people calm and shit like that. Maybe even offer deeper explanation.
Okay.
Of the story.
Can you roll an insight check as you're getting a bead on how everyone's feeling?
Just stop asking to roll shit like that. Yeah. Yeah, 2.
Okay. It's a mixed bag. A lot of the people here have not just devoted themselves to the houses, but the houses have provided for them. They provided shelter, they provided a way of commerce to work, to learn, to study from. They have a base of operations here. That every building, every section of this city has been cut up and left to the houses to be able to do what they want with. And a lot of the people benefited from it. If they didn't, they wouldn't be here. So hearing these words sort of announced or proclaimed throughout the land, they are somewhat confused. And those who have been hurt by the house, they seem to recognize this, but they're unsure as to what is going on, why this has been triggered. So the sort of general feel that you understand is this sort of... They're not acting on this. There's not going to be like civil unrest or anything like that.
Okay.
But you can certainly get the sense that people are listening and people are dismissing. So those that are listening, there's potential to unravel further and push that. But those that aren't, they're just putting their fingers in their ears and continuing on with their day. And the speech lasts for about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. And then eventually the illusion dissipates.
Okay. I mean, she'd try and contact one of the three. Since we are sending stones connected to each other, she'd probably try and reach out to Mobius, just be like, what exactly is going on? What are we doing? Are you okay?
I can respond.
You can, yeah. You have 25 words to respond with.
25 with... how do we do this? Evidence of Relendir's involvement with power outage. Tried to talk. Didn't go well. We're being arrested.
Okay.
Yeah, just like listening to that, being like, what? Cool. Awesome. How long has it been since Roy got left?
Maybe about an hour or so.
Okay, would be the next highest ranking person currently around.
Around you would probably be Rudy, seeing as he's like a captain of a small garrison.
Cool. Wait, the sending stones we have, are those between us as a group? Are those once a day? Are those...
I don't know which ones you have. I imagine they would be the once per day ones, because you do have an orb that allows you to have infinite amounts of sending.
Yeah,
but that's
Vanessa.
on them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna go over to Rudy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, if someone were to be arrested in this lovely city,
fuck. Yeah, go
on. Where would they be taken? Like, specifically if they made a giant speech in the skies?
Those your
Was
friends?
that illegal? I don't know. 100%. Yes, probably. Oh, well, first of all, is that even illegal? They didn't say anything that sounded illegal to me, so...
No, but...
They made some accusations. But...
Sure. It depends on the perspective you're looking at it. It could be inciting a civil war, since they attacked directly at the houses. Some people may spin it that way. In terms of where they'll be kept, well, there's a couple of places. They could be kept within the land itself. They have several prisons around here. Temporary hold, but also maximum security. Or we have the ships. They're pretty safe as well. We have a couple of prisons inside of the mountains, each one of them on the western and the eastern side, but probably in the ship. Especially if it's directed towards the houses. Depends who got to them first.
Okay.
By the way, I don't think your friends were wrong to do it. There's clearly problems here that need to be resolved.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's been a long time coming. I've been looking into the houses for up to half a year now, so... I guess something just pushed them over the edge this day.
Perhaps it's that. And he gestures towards Zeftal that's floating above. There's a lot of shit happening at once. Maybe this will be the
I-
thing that tips the scales.
I don't know. We've talked to Princess Thimra before, and
You
she didn't
have?
seem like the type of person to. Oh yes, it was very impressive. She is quite intimidating, but also
Sienna-
very sweet. We witnessed a moment between her and her husband, and it was very cute.
Sienna, you surprise me every fucking day.
Oh, you don't know half of it.
Next thing you're gonna say is you can share your fucking divine powers with someone else.
Why would I say that? Right. So, do you think you could get me into contact with someone that can get me onto one of those ships? Because my friends have been arrested by. No, yeah, that's ridiculous.
That sounds pretty difficult.
Yeah. I mean, I once met one of the princes. I'm not sure he remembers me. It's been quite a while. I could try and talk to him though.
Hey, look, we're part of the same troop. I might be able to get you in, but that's a maybe. And I don't know how far I'll get. If anything, Roygar's probably the best person to talk to, but he's just gone off.
Yeah, he just left.
Well, until you know where they are, they could be with the houses or they could be with the giants. That's the first thing to find out. We can't just start asking around, and that might not get us anywhere.
Yeah. Well, if they're with the houses, I think it would still be smart for me to start talking to the giants, because if they're with the houses, we have a problem. I think so.
Well, if it's an audience with the fire giants that you're looking for to persuade them, you're best going to the estate. Their palace, which is on the eastern side of the city. I'm sure you've gone past it. It's the hearth.
Yeah.
Do you need me to go with you?
Is there... Yes.
All right.
Is that like an official procedure? Do I have to like request an audience month in advance? That would be an issue.
I'm not sure. I need to check. It's not...
Okay.
We don't tend to go to the palace. There's no real need to. A lot of what we do is kept in-house, and they keep to themselves, but if your friends are in trouble, which it sounds like they are, especially when they do a stunt like this, it's probably best to go there first, before the houses do. Even if they have influence or not.
Yes, very wise. Let's do that. And if we happen to see Roygar on the way, perfect.
Well, fingers crossed you're that lucky.
Yeah, fingers
All right.
crossed.
Dina, you look after the rest of them. Sienna and I are going to go out for a walk. And she looks over and gives a nod, and she begins to take over the sort of training for the others. The two of you head towards the hearth, the royal estate that is here in the city. It'll take you not an hour, but just under to get there, since it is a fair walk away. It's on not the heart of the city, it's on quite the outskirts. So it'll take you a while to walk there. Is there anything you wish to discuss with Rudy as you are going across?
I think... Well, I would have shared quite a lot of what we know of him already, because I trust him. So over the 6 months, we've been working closely together. But still, any of the new stuff we've recently learned. If there's anything he doesn't know yet concerning the houses, I fill him in. Just so he doesn't walk into this unprepared, and then I just bust out secrets that he hasn't heard before.
As you're walking and telling him everything that you've come across in regards to the houses, you'll see he's not been one to keep too quiet about his opinions. He's had his sort of his wavering understanding of who is in charge here, and has kind of left the political side to the wayside and deals with the people directly. As you involve him in all of this, you see he'll kind of nod along. Look, the houses are selfish. Any business is going to look out for themselves. That's just clear. They are businesses at the end of the day. They have professions. They have a name to uphold. They're going to do everything they can for damage control. That's just obvious. But you also don't know what influence they have. The Empress has given complete control to these houses. She's basically given up. So whatever happens in this city is down to them. Now, if the Empress has any hold left, any say in how things go, a lot of it will be undermined by her previous actions, so you'll be lucky if you can get anywhere with her. But you still have the guards, you still have at least some holding here. And the houses, well, fuck. They've not done ideal things. Let's just put it lightly. I've seen some of the things they've done. Questionable. Unethical. But will they get punished for it? No. Why? Because they own the place. And in their opinion, the good outweighs the bad. No one sees the bad, they only see the good. Unless you show them, you ain't got a choice. This will be a tricky one.
It shouldn't be up to a few to decide what is good in the end. It should be up to the entire people, the entire city. So yeah, our plan is kind of to just lay open everything they've done and then to let the people judge them. We're not planning to be judge and executioner here. We're just trying to make everything see-through.
Well, you got a lot of built-up history to try and break down. A lot of influence they've built up over these many decades that she's been gone. So, all I can say is good luck to you, because that's going to be hard. I'm sure people have done it before, but did you ever hear about them? No.
No.
They just disappear.
We're quite hard to make disappear, so...
I'll be careful to say that. You don't want to jinx it. And I wouldn't underestimate what they can do.
Horrifying sentence, but true.
Well, you eventually arrive at this sort of royal estate that's here. Guards standing outside, very much like palisade guards standing on patrol. The building itself looks not exactly well looked after. There's some elements of it that are moldy and draped slightly awkwardly, but the guards still stand at attention and kind of watch over proceedings as the two of you arrive. They kind of look down at you. State your name and business. Well, my name is Commander Roygar. Not Roygar. Commander Rudy.
If only.
Yeah. I've come here with some information for the Empress. If that's possible, to perhaps speak with her or one of her sons. They just stare down at him. Wait here. And one of them will begin to leave and head inside as you're left outside waiting. Is there anything you do while you wait?
Was there a second guard, or was it just the one?
Yeah, there's a second one now.
Right. Polite chit-chat.
Does not want to get engaged in this conversation. He just stares forward.
Okay.
I won't pay too much attention to these guys.
They could be nice.
I don't think they get paid to be nice.
Yeah, but they get paid to do a very honorful job that I imagine, it's only select few people get to do, and you think... Okay. A bit miffed about being ignored.
Yeah.
That's okay.
As you're being ignored, eventually one of the same guard that was there before will walk down. The Empress will see you now.
Okay.
Well, that was easy.
That was too easy.
Okay. And he'll follow behind as the two of you are escorted in. Meanwhile, we'll jump to the others. As you're all being left isolated in one of these sorts of makeshift cabins on the main ship here, floating above Alakshayr. You've been left to your own devices for the most part, but now you see a presence has kind of entered, wearing complete black, sort of long clothing, draped down, almost like it's some sort of Gothic style dress. You see walking in with even a slight small hat that's off-centered to the head, with its own element of black to red veil that doesn't go over the face but just kind of hovers around and just stays intact. This elderly, perhaps in her 60s or so, at least by physical age, much older, being a giant, prim, proper fire giant woman as she steps through. Her hands in front of her, very courtly, as she's just making sure to show very small size for such a large and tall woman. She keeps herself somewhat placid, and she enters the room. Her skin is almost like coal, and her veins that seem to be more protrudent in the older ages of these fire giants, you see that crackle of red going to black across the arms and down the hands, as well as up the neck and around the face. Her eyes are like red black stones as they just stare forward and look down at the rest of you. This is the Empress that you've seen depicted in several different places and heard about many, many times over. She walks in with no guards surrounding her, and she just looks at the rest of you. Well, should we have a conversation then? You wish to speak with me?
Polite bow. Yes. I've been meaning to speak to you for a while. Do you wish to sit, or?
I am not one for these surroundings. Please, let us take this discussion somewhere more intimate. And she'll turn, almost like a military heel turn, backwards. And as she sort of stands there and clicks her foot to the ground, this rune of fire just shoots forward like a sizzle of flame in the ground, and then almost a wall of flame burns in reds and blues. She steps into the fire. Please follow me. And disappears within.
Okay. Step through very carefully.
You step through one by one. The flames hot as you're walking towards it, incredibly so to the point where you're worried you're going to start feeling the burn, almost like staring at an open oven as the fire seems warm inside. But as you step closer, that fire seems to vanish, and you push through into another room like a doorway to the other side. You enter what is a large, grandiose sort of dining hall, all old and decrepit, showing ancient relics that have been left hanging on the walls with thick layers of dust around every corner. You step in to what you assume is probably the palace home of the royal family, their main estate. As you all step in, you are a fraction of the size to what everything else is. The tables are tall and large, the chairs as well, and as you exit, you look behind to find you have just exited a large fireplace that is brimming with heat, and then the flames just subside and the coals just no longer bounce. For a moment, there are runes on them, as though they have been enchanted themselves, and then they go inert as they just lay still. The fire now gone, as you have teleported elsewhere. You see she has continued to walk towards a different area, her heels echoing across these pretty empty chambers, although there are relics and things hanging around and candelabras, but it feels very hollow. There's not much life in here. It's all old and discarded, forgotten about. And she just continues to walk through another doorway. And she gestures to follow. Please, this way.
follow quietly.
Mm-hmm. The stepping through into this next room, it is another large, grandiose space, but you can see it's been divided into two sort of areas, if you will. One that is built to a larger, grandiose size, and then another to the left, which is more diminutive in nature. Like you're seeing a slight parallax of spaces, which is odd as you're looking at it. They both almost have the same proportions from this angle, yet you can tell that one of them is smaller than the other. And you see the fire giant as she walks down the very center between the two. And they're both these sort of lounge areas, very more lived in, more colorful, more clean, as this is a space she probably walks through more often. Place that's bright and colorful. She walks in the middle, and then she walks to the left-hand side. And you see her form almost follows the size of the chamber, and almost like she shrinks down to meet the rest of the furniture. The rest of you begin to follow, and you find that same sort of odd space here. If you were to walk over to the right, where these larger bits of furniture are, it would maintain in its size of like giant proportions, and you would be much smaller in comparison. Yet as you walk over to the left, the furniture is almost the same size for you, for regular humanoid proportions. And as you walk up, you see that she herself has also shrunk down to the same height. And she sits in one of the large seats and gestures for the rest of you to take one. All large armoires, as well as royal sort of patented sofas and settees, all nicely furnished and prepared here next to a small fire. In the center, there are several saucers and teapots that have been laid and displayed. As she sits down, cross over one of her legs, and she'll grab one of the cups and begin to drink from it. Please
Politely
help
sit
yourself
down.
to a drink if you are thirsty. I understand you have been on our ship for a while now.
Well, how long has it been, DM?
Probably about 2 hours.
Wasn't too long, but thank you. We appreciate your welcome nature, considering the situation we are in. But we don't want to waste much of your time either.
Well,
We...
I would not say wasting my time. This is a very important conversation, would you not think?
I meant as in wanted to get straight into the business and not small talk.
Well,
But
please, go ahead.
How much of the speech have you heard?
I have heard all of it.
All right. Well, then you know how we feel about the houses. We have worked on cases involving them and their corruption for over 6 months now. Half a year. And it goes probably deeper than even what we know. They don't have anyone to hold them accountable. Not really. And they've been free to do whatever they wish. And some of that seems to have been not for the good of the people at all. I believe we saw you there ourselves. You were there during the attack on the city. The house is allowed for that to happen. For the infernals to enter into the city.
She'll just continue to
And-
listen attentively.
And the Dream Factory incident. from a while back. We know that the House Relendir was involved.
She
And-
sets her cup back onto the table. There is a creaking of a door. As she turns her attention to it, a fire giant guard walks up and whispers into her ear in giant. It seems that one of your friends is here as well. Let them in. After about 10 minutes, Sienna, you eventually arrive and join the others, seeing as they're all here as well, sat in this lounge area. The rest of you see Sienna walk through alongside one of their guards that she's been working with for a while.
Ben just kind of gives her a...
eye contact with each, like,
Please take a seat. I am just listening
Uh,
to your plight, your missions that you have been carrying out.
Great, thank you. Your Highness. Sits down. Confused.
Well, I was just saying how much the House Relendir was involved in everything that happened. But I think we all agree that it can't really go unchecked anymore. We tried investigating this time as well, but considering how quickly defensive they got and how quickly they were to pull the panic lever, I'm pretty sure we're all well aware that they're the reason why the magic has stopped flowing throughout the city. And now, apparently, they have a all-solution problem-solving machine that somehow still manages to run on magic, despite it not being anywhere in the city.
Do you have a personal relation with these houses? None of you are denizens of Alakshayr, right?
No,
Nope.
we moved here about a year ago. We are residents, though. We own the plot of land.
So you come here with fresh eyes, looking at a system that is broken. Do you have a way of fixing it?
Gives a look.
Changing the leadership. Changing the leadership would be a good start.
Unveiling all the houses have done, the good and the bad, and letting the people judge for themselves. I mean, elections work well in some other places. The Dawn Republic has been doing fairly well with the system. If the people decide that they're happy to be ruled by these houses, maybe with a more control exercised over them from some sort of higher power, some of them must be good. Hopefully.
What you ask of me to do is very difficult. To go against something that I introduced into the city. I'm the one that brought in these houses to begin with. I renounced my position as Empress. I lost all power here. Because I was not fit to lead. None of us were. Perhaps I was blindsided by what the house's true intentions were. Or perhaps they were corrupted by the greed that they had, the power that was in their hands, the people. This resource to do whatever they wish with. That was not the intention to begin with. But how am I supposed to regain this? Their rhetoric has consumed much of this great city. It has provided much for the people, yet it has also taken away. To instill an act of leadership through choice, through decisions of the people, they have already been indoctrinated into their belief. To do that would simply give them more control. You give the decision to the people and they choose a house to lead them, and that is power absolute. And the people only have themselves to blame. Well, at the moment, they have an enemy to point at. Me.
But even so, the way it is right now cannot continue. Do you have any other solution to the issue? If you do not consider yourself worth ruling over the city and you do not consider the house as good, then what other alternative is there?
My bloodline will not take on this responsibility of leadership. For us, this is a curse. To wear this mantle brings sadness and bloodshed. The only possible option that I could think of is to hand over everything to Queen Thimra. Times were much simpler when all we had to consider was our own clan of fire giants. But this world has gotten bigger and is so interconnected. It was an impossibility to keep things the way they were. We had to open our borders. We had to be more inclusive. Queen Thimra and Zeftal has shown a readiness to unite the giants and their land as one.
But will the people want this? Excuse me, Your Majesty, but it seems like a third force would just be forcing their way in and taking over the city. Especially because some still consider giants an authority over them.
My clan is a remnant. We are very few that are left. When Queen Thimra made her speech across the lands, claiming that the once missing relic of permafrost was in her control, all of the giants flocked to her side, including my own. We are a fraction of what we were before. If we couldn't control what we had then, with even less of an influence, how can we now?
But you already have allies in the city. Not all the people look back with aggression to us at the time of your rule. The Guard is a perfect example of humanoids and giants working together. It's been working, despite the house's best efforts. There is still a possibility that your house could rule in collaboration with humanoids.
What we're saying is one house shouldn't have the power to just remove all magic. Just with the flick of their fingers. And as much as we like and appreciate Queen Timbra, it's just the people have no connection to her. They do to you. They know who you are. Zeftal could kind of come across as being high and mighty and trying to fix the city that people like, maybe, that the way it is, regardless of the houses. Especially those in the Undercity. There doesn't need to be an absolute. There can be a collaboration with Zeftal, with you, and some of the houses. But the other houses do need to be held accountable for what they did. For what they're still doing. We don't ask that you put yourself in the same position again if it really did bring you so much pain, but there needs to be a new system, new people put in place, routine checks, not letting people stay in power for too long, as seemingly it brings a burden.
This is all a lot to consider. Why do you think that my power would at least be enough for these people to feel confident?
Because it might be all they have. Something is better than nothing. I know we're asking for a lot, but we could really use your help.
I love this city. But that throne took too much from me. The houses will not be happy with someone going against them, especially with their influence. They're already spreading rumors around. Information will be lost. This is a war that they are specialists in. You're fighting a propaganda machine that is being upheld by several hundred people, all working with a common goal to manipulate the masses. That will spread like a wildfire. How do you defeat that?
By saying the truth, by working against it. We've been living in this city and making connections for almost a year now. We may not have hundreds on our side, but we have some allies that will help us spread the truth. And we also hold some influence in this city. We're somewhat local heroes, I guess you could say. At least I think our faces will be recognized. I believe we hold some sway.
They can spread lies and rumors about us, but our actions will always say more than whatever words they can throw out about us. People believe what they see, not what just they hear.
Well, if you're so confident. Then we can try. We can see what we can do to take down these houses. But this city will be changing. Well, let us get started then. If you need to know, then know it is. Please follow me. And she'll begin to walk outside this room. Her proportions changed back to her regular size as she is huge in comparison to the rest of you. You follow suit, and then eventually she takes you to one of her large studies, a space for giants that would probably be on par with a small study for a human, but for you guys, this huge, large tomes written out by giants to use. And you see she walks over towards a side table, which has a window looking out towards the palace gardens. The entire garden itself is completely overgrown and not well looked after, except for one spot in particular where there is a statue that remains, made out of the same black stone and steel that you see in the ships, of a human man, another fire giant that stands there proudly. Seems to be an in memoriam to them. The garden surrounding them is pristine and well kept, with fresh new flowers seemingly planted every day. And she walks up towards the table. Her hands go across the lip, and then underneath there is a click. And from underneath the table, the stone recedes and begins to shift downwards, creating a hidden staircase down below. Large enough for giants to walk down, and quite big for you guys. You're having to leap down every step as you get further and further down. But she walks. Parts of her sort of veins and elements of cracked skin show that sort of red magma, and that causes the glow inside that you begin to follow. The staircases wrap around once, twice, 3, 4 times over, as you eventually find yourself underground somewhere beneath the estate above. This place is well visited. It seems to be partly crypts, but also partly almost staging area for something else. As you walk in, you hear sort of swords bouncing against each other as sparks fly from them, heavy swaths of sort of blows back and forth as you see 2 large giants training in this space. She walks past them as they are completely focused in this fighting, practice fighting it seems. And she continues to walk past the crypts, and on the right hand side you see several names written out, all in giant, but you see the sort of clan name written next to them, and that is the core, the main fire giant lineage, it seems, all represented here in these those that have passed away. There is a section of them where you can see a dozen that were killed during the same time period, all just laying resting within this sort of coffin, this section of coffins. And their ages range from a very young sort of 20s to perhaps later in life, 80s or so, all having been killed within a span of a year of each other. And she walks past them, but spends a moment giving a small curtsy in their direction. But she continues through another doorway in this underground layer, and here you find this sort of large and impressive, almost scheming board. Here there are an entire dome-shaped space filled on the walls and the ceiling with what looks like investigations. You see newspaper clippings. You see sort of pins pressing up elements of, well, it looks like an investigator's wall, pretty much. And you see different names written out, images drawn, and illusion-based magic used to create the lifelike personas of all of these people. And you see the entire layout of all of these houses. Every single house is mentioned and accounted for here, including the people in their ranks. And you can see that whoever's running this, whether it's her or whether it's another in her family, that this is a sort of closed bit of information that she's been keeping. And it's been keeping tabs on every single house member, both major and minor. And she just shows you this space. Well, when I gave up control to the city, it didn't mean I turned a complete blind eye. I was always still watchful. My giants would inform me of everything that they had come across, even the stuff that was covered up. We have everything here that could be used to take them down. But we never acted upon it. This information has been kept to us and us alone. She just looks up and looks back down. You had mentioned the creation of this box. And she points over towards an image of Vysoma that you've seen early in the day. I understand that she creates tinkers and crafts with elements of arcana, both pure and unpure. I'm sure she was the one that created it. She had done other devilish creations as well. She has given weapons to other civilizations as part payment for other favors that were done for them. These people are not good people. Perhaps some of them have good intentions, but they have all at least had one bad deed that had gone too far. But this is something I've been keeping to myself until one day, perhaps, it would be necessary to act. So, if you wish to be involved, if you wish to take down these houses, this space, these walls, there's all the information you need.
Just looks around a bit shocked.
This is impressive.
Yeah.
It is decades of work. Some of it is old and unusable, but it still shows a story.
Indeed. Thank you for showing us this. Can we, any kind of gestures to wanting to look through?
I will give you some time to look at all of it. I have to speak to my sons, and she'll walk out.
That went a lot better than I expected.
It did. How the fuck did you get arrested?
Honestly, I don't know exactly what we were arrested for. But I think...
Well, probably because they weren't happy with what we were saying.
If I arrested every person when they said stuff I didn't like, half of the city would be in jail.
Well, yeah, but you don't control the city, and
Yeah, you're not a
you
corrupt
weren't-
form of government, so...
I
It
know.
might have been just for appearances as well.
Yeah, show of power.
Also, wait, you, points at Mobius, you need to get better at sendings. You can't end with, oh, and by the way, we got arrested, and to not elaborate.
I'm sorry. I know, but it was kind of in the heat of the moment, and
Okay.
would you believe if I told you that was our second time today we got arrested?
Who else did you guys
He
arrest?
said we don't talk about it with Sienna.
Hit
Stop
Mobius.
saying-
Damn it! Stop outing us.
Why did we say that?
I'm not bad. I'm just disappointed. Why did you get arrested twice?
I've forgotten that you need permission to go into Zefta.
Well, that's understandable. That can happen. At least you apparently weren't arrested very long, so that's nice.
No, they let us pretty much immediately.
Okay.
After they realized we were just a little stupid.
Oh wait, no. Do we have to pay a fine or something? I don't think we have the money for that. We currently need to raise a lot of money, and we don't have money to spend on fines.
No. They just let us go.
Mention the time.
Okay. At home, there's just a letter.
$5 billion.
We hope you enjoyed your experience.
Here's your bill.
Please see attached.
What is this American health?
Oh boy.
Okay, well, let's look through this and think on what we're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Should we
You okay,
split up
though?
the...
Looks to Sienna.
Yeah. I had an interesting day. I can tell you about that later, though. This seems a bit more important.
Okay. Turn to all the documents and just start reading through.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like each of you to roll an investigation check then. You can give someone
Oh,
advantage
Lord.
if you'd like.
I'm gonna give Moby the advantage.
Is
Me?
my investigation. Oh, +6.
I have a +10.
God,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What's Fennell's investigation?
+2. I was gonna give someone an advantage.
Can give it to me if you want. I have +6.
Yeah,
right now.
I'll give it to Ben. I'll give
Okay,
Ben a hand with what they're looking for.
nice.
Mobius hope you rolled better. Oh, you did. Okay, good.
So, as you begin to look through all of these sort of documents and the names of certain houses being on full show, you see that there is clearly records on records of investigations that have taken place both inside of their halls but also outside. People looking in but also infiltrating and finding their way through, finding information that perhaps wasn't known to the public. So she's done some, at least, sneaky investigation. She's probably sent one of the informants in there, or perhaps there's been someone working from the inside out. And you find sort of plethora of information that's both on the surface and hidden. Some things that kind of stand out to you, mainly because of what you've been looking for, is the Dream Factory was something that she knew about, something that is written down. It has sort of the documents that have been piled up of the historical of it all. And as well, you can see that there are names that are counted for as people who have purchased from there, and you notice Gil, for example, is upon them. You also see their sort of records of the people who took it down. You see your sort of names, the sort of business that you worked under on the sort of header of newspapers. You can even see information of yourselves written out there as well. With your sort of aliases that you had made, the sort of fiscal information that's there, including where you come from. Even for Fennell, your real name is written on there. You see that they've gone in such detail. These, you need to bear in mind, these people are high-level enchanters. They have powers that they can use, things like legend lore, for example, and other sort of divination-based abilities to find pretty much all info they need. And they've been
Just
working on this
imagine
for a
the
long time.
reveal hadn't happened like 3 sessions ago. And we're just
can I
like,
just
Fennell,
black out
why does this say a
Elliot?
different name? Fennell, who the fuck is Harry spells Teela?
Spelling mistake.
For Mobius, there's not much information that's written down for you. It's mainly just the recounts of like describing who you are. They even go into a bit of detail about your matrix as well. They've probably had a specialist look at it and have kind of tried to analyze the energies that surround it. One of the things you also notice that there's information on the houses, but for Mobius, in this room, the tiles where all of the papers are written on look like they could perhaps retract. And there's probably more information hidden on the other side of these tiles. When you're looking around the room, you can see that there is a chain quite subtly in between the stonework here that you could probably pull out and pull down to see the other side if you wanted to.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of go to the chain and kind of warn everybody to maybe stay a bit out of the way. I don't know how it's gonna flip out, so
You pull the chain down. As you pull the chain, all of the kind of elements of stone just flicker out for a second and then flip over, all going upwards and then to the top middle point. As it's all changing, you see that no longer is the point of interest on houses, but instead you can see different clans of giants that are depicted in different areas. And then all of these lines interconnect to one point at the very top, which you see is Princess Thimra. And there is a clear sort of line depicting everything to her in particular. Whether this is something that is information on my friend is potentially good, or this is an account of all of the bad deeds that she's done.
It's just a pro-contra list. Like, but also...
You can roll an investigation on this side as well, as no one's turned up, if you wish.
hell yeah.
I'll give Van a hand with this one as well.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just Mobius, but
Yeah.
Whoever wants to.
okay. One moment. Oh,
Nice.
let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
There's depictions of the other fire giant clans. At one point, you can see this beautiful blade that has been sort of handed together between two factions. It seems like ice giants as well as fire giants, as that seems to be a symbol. But then you can see notes of like question marks as to where it's gone. And there seems to be sort of like scattering of giants throughout different areas. They've been seen and spotted in different spots. There is a storm giant that you can see noted as kind of on the loose and on the run. As you continue to look around, there are points where you see the actual floating city of Zefdal with this beam of light that shines down from its center, from its very bottom core, and looks to have destroyed an entire landscape below. There is an aftermath of the sort of imagery depicted, and it's just this sort of crater in the ground where things have been uprooted and broken apart in this sort of wide junglescape that has now been flooded. There are other images of townspeople who have kind of like been rescued from there, trying to be helped. You can see this has been depicted in several different areas as well. Notes that have been made that say that they were either attacked or elements of their sort of minds were completely taken up by the city without their permission and just taken in and above. A lot of sort of abuse of power, it seems, depicted around the city of Zefdal. And then there is a point where all seems to come together towards Princess/Queen Thimra, where she is currently holding a permafrost, a sort of blade of both ice and fire put together. Seems to be the announcement that she had made. It certainly seems like this is information like a hit list. Whatever has happened, the Empress and her people don't seem to like her. And that's from a natural 20.
Oh.
As you are looking around, you eventually begin to hear the footsteps of someone returning to the room.
Yoink!
Can you roll a sleight of hand check to see if you're fast enough?
I can.
Lose the allyship immediately.
She left us alone. Like,
That is so true.
Okay. You reach over towards the chain, you pull it, the stones begin to flip backwards, but they continue to flip as they take some time before they completely go to the other side, and it all returns back to the sort of houses, the depiction of them, and you see the Empress steps through as she looks up to find the final sort of imagery of Queen Thimra flip over towards the houses once more. I see you found the other side of these stones. I hope this is not a problem.
Yeah, it's not a problem for you?
Well, unless you make it my problem.
No, definitely not. But didn't you say you were considering trying to give Thimra the power over the city?
What do you see in the information that was here and present? And she reaches over towards the chain and pulls it again. All flips back. What do you see when you look at this?
Everyone looks at Ben, considering Ben saw the stuff.
Well, it kind of seems like your people are not very fond of her.
She walks around the room. Well, she comes from a long lineage of conquerors and gestures towards where the sort of last seen storm giant is sort of that depiction of a male storm giant points to it. He was a once disgraced king, Serkar. He had done all of this. And she begins to gesture towards the elements of land that were destroyed by the city. He had no care of allegiances. He took what he wanted for his own people. We never sided ourselves with them because of their lack of empathy for those who lived below them. A union of storm and cloud put together in this grip, this vice. But when he overstepped his boundaries, he was removed from office. And now he is gone, his daughter takes the throne. No one is ever innocent, especially in positions of power like that. She was selfish, greedy. She wanted the power that her father had, but she lacked the influence. She was the daughter of someone else. She was always the princess. But when this weapon, this relic, permafrost, wielded by my son, went missing, I found his remains, buried deep within an icy, cold burial. Edal. She had destroyed him, but in return destroyed the weapon as well, leaving it scattered. Luckily enough, it was put back together. That gentleman you saw me speaking with the other day, Bjorn, he placed the pieces back as one, yet he did not know the importance of it and gave it away to Thimra. With it, she ushered a movement of lies, unified everyone underneath it, although she scattered blood of her own. That part she never admitted to anyone. So now she rules over everyone in this lie, in this secret. Does that make her evil? She made the choice, no? The people of Zeftal are happy. Was this a wise decision? Is the world better off because of it? I have my resentment towards her. She killed my family. She's the reason why I left my throne. The grief, the destruction. But maybe it was the best decision to be made. But you are friends of hers now?
We've spoken to her once. I would not say we're friends. I would have
Good
considered us
time.
allies, but we barely knew anything about her, apparently.
The question I propose is, can people change?
I've not heard any of this happen in recent years, so apparently the city's policies have changed. So that's at least something. Or they've just gotten a lot sneakier.
But I have spoken to her partner, and I don't think he is malicious. Could be that he also had a positive influence in her life.
Does the present outdo the past? What is enough to condone the sins of something that you have done? What is the cost? What is the payment? What is the justice? My heart bleeds every day knowing that she wields that blade, that relic of unison, that my son once held. But do I fight my personal feelings for the betterment of this city? Is she a better leader if a union were to be made?
I still don't love the idea of her, well, of any outside force from stepping in and trying to take over. That
I'd be
still
open
feels
to
wrong.
I don't think anyone should be the only ruler, as we've already said. We still want to give some power and transparency to the people. As much as I like her, I also don't agree with all of her policies. And I wouldn't want Alakshayr to turn into Zeftal number 2. Again, I don't want anyone to have complete power over the city in the palm of their hands. But just something to hold the people in power accountable. If one system fails, there's the other to keep them in check. If that is
However,
so be it, but
she would be a powerful ally. She has powerful military and a lot of power. I said that. This weapon she has, it has sway on all giant races, if I understand correctly, so securing her allyship would be extremely powerful for us. Even if we don't agree with her personally.
She does not know of all of this, nor that I have been so closely paying attention to her every move. So I prefer that this stays between us. As a token of respect, but also a show of my willingness, that I am giving you my heart. You've seen the grief. You know the challenges that I have to stand behind. This is no easy feat for me, and I need you to understand that.
No. I don't think this is an easy feat for anyone.
Well then, I shall pull the chain again, and then all of them revert back towards the houses. This place is yours to learn, to find out what you can, how to deal with these houses, expose what they have. Information, as you said, is only as important as telling, but finding and showing will be even greater. Exposing their deeds, what they have been doing during their time of leadership. It is time to expose them and to remove them altogether.
Thank you again.
You have my resources available to you. You just reach out to me or my sons. And the two of them will kind of walk in. They'll nod. Calvin and Dromith. The two of them, you can ask for aid. But take your time. When you are finished here, I will need to take you back to the surface. And to make sure that all of this goes without warning for the houses, you would need to make at least some sort of penance, appease them in some way. Otherwise, they will be on you.
What do you suggest?
Indulge in them. Ask for their forgiveness.
Inside voice. Oh, hell no. Oh,
Is that
hell no.
necessary? Are you sure?
Are you sure we can just keep a low profile or something?
You have
Or have
whispered
they-
into the ear of every person in Alakshayr to fight against the houses. You are target number one. Either you go in the darkness and be forgotten about, or you make your presence known to the public and show that perhaps you aren't so against them.
But doesn't that just make us look like we have no backbone? Like we're admitting defeat, and those who are on our side will think us of as fakes?
I mean, we could try and do something like, like how you use your words sometimes to say one thing, but you clearly mean another thing. But on paper, you said one thing. I wouldn't know how to, but I imagine Van, you could come up with something words that seem to be saying, "Yeah, we're super sorry," but actually saying, "No, we stand by what we said." So we publicly apologize, but we don't mean it. Or something.
Am I preparing a ukulele apology? What are we doing?
Yes.
I mean,
Have they openly called for like our arrest or something?
I'm sure they will if they haven't yet. They have the power of the city. I can pardon you, but then it shows that I'm allied with you. That is the difficult position that I am in. I do not care of what they think or how they act against me, but I do not want to wish all of this work, these decades that my family has try to keep in the shadows be uprooted. This is a decision for you to make, not for me to tell you how to do it.
Well, maybe we can apologize, but also throw the ball back into their side of the court. You know, something along the lines of sorry for our conduct, but we both know you also have something you have to apologize to the people. Said no, no. So it sounds less aggressive, but if we apologize and challenge them publicly at the same time in some time periods after we sift through everything, and then the people can choose who they want to side with, us or the houses.
Yeah. What will you be doing? They've already started whispering that you're responsible for the disruption and magic.
Or rather that Zeptal is, and that you caught them here.
I know. I'm waiting to see how it plays out.
I'm not sure right now is the time to wait.
The decision to bring Zeftal here was before all of this. I brought them here as a way of bringing a neutral stance here. One that has no allegiances to anyone. One that can act as the negotiator to maintain a sort of order. But with the revelations of this, I am hesitant to ask for that help.
Well, and honestly, they aren't exactly neutral, are they? I mean, Thimra remains a giant. And that is how the people of the city will view it.
But she also has non-giants in her city. Lands that do not
She
pertain to
does.
giants.
But how many people have actually been to Zeftal and witnessed this themselves? How many people of Alakshayr even have a lot of knowledge about Zeftal? They'll just see the giants flying in the skies and they'll think that they're your allies. Sadly, a lot of people of the city are not very well traveled or very well experienced.
Well, then the only option that stands is for me to pardon you. To play my cards. If you wish to travel freely in the land and not be hiding in the shadows or reversing what you've done, then we have to take several steps forward in one go.
We still can do what Mobius suggested.
Also, think of it like this. Some people have suspected Zeftal's involvement in the power outage. And we know that they're not responsible for it, so our stance in them notwithstanding, they should be subjected to being viewed as villains in this particular situation. So maybe we can do some sort of we apologize and then we ask the houses to apologize to Zeftal for not speaking out, for letting the masses believe they're involved with what happened, for inconveniencing everyone.
I like that. You know, we can apologize for maybe being brash,
Yes.
and then also ask them how they're gonna fix magic, or ask them why they turned it off. If you're gonna publicly deny that you were responsible for affecting the magic.
We can. I can stand together with Thimra to make this announcement. Make it more public.
If you wish to play your cards, then yes.
But we should still remain acting separately. You with Thimra, if you're willing to do so, and us as seemingly a neutral party, or at least a citizens' party.
I am putting
Yeah.
a lot of my belief in you, because I've seen what you can do. That factory by Rilandir, I saw what you did, and I applaud you for it. But I still don't know you. I know of you, but I don't know you. A lot of faith is being put in this. A lot is riding on this. So please, don't make me do the wrong decision. Give me at least the confidence that this isn't some trick.
Well, surely our actions speak for themselves.
With the amount of deception that I have been laden to, it's always hard to see who is good intentioned and bad.
If it would assuage you, I could cast a spell and we could clutch under it. A spell that allows no lies.
A truth and lie are only temporary. Someone can change their mind day by day. But
Then we can honestly offer you nothing to assure you. We can just promise that we're trying to do the best for the city, whatever that may turn out to be.
yes. As long as it's for the city. Right. Take all the information you need here. And when you're ready to leave, I'll give you a teleportation stone that allow you to enter my estate without issue.
Okay.
And
Do
she'll...
you think there's any other... Okay, never mind.
No, keep going.
She's leaving. Just want to ask, do you think there's any other precautions we should take after we leave your estate? The physical kind, I mean.
Depends how much you wish to try and hide. You've made yourselves public. Everyone will have their eyes on you. The houses especially.
Do you think they'll try to attack us? Not up front, but I can imagine them hiring mercenaries.
This is
People on the side.
a war of information at this point. They're going to gather every little bit of dirt that they can find. So don't give them anything to find. Don't make them suspicious of your previous activities. And what you do will come out righteous.
Sienna's just like, yes, we got this in the bag. Everyone else, uh-oh.
She'll hand you the stone, this small sort of coal piece that she has, same runes as the one in the fireplace. One teleportation stone that you can use to teleport directly to the estate. Reusable, but once you use it, it will only last for 1 minute, and then once you're on the other side, it will just appear with the rest of the stones, and you can repick one up. So bear that in mind. So just hand it in the middle, and whoever takes it, make sure you note it down.
Who wants the teleportation stone?
Yeah, who wants it?
I can take it since Sven has been doing the teleporting, or if Mobius wants it.
Up to you, really. I'm fine with either option.
I'll
Rock,
take
paper,
it then.
scissors.
You can have it, you can have it.
Okay.
She'll leave you to gather as much information and write down as much as you want from this space, rather than me go into details of what everything does. At least you have sort of something to rely on when you focus on a house directly. So if you go for House Mortim, for example, you're given a base of information to work with. But for now, you gather as much as you can. Eventually, they escort you out and teleport you back onto the main ship in which you were sort of brought to originally. And then you're escorted in sort of full plain as day down to the surface, since that was the last place they saw you go before, trying not to hide anything.
Can I not be with them?
Yeah, you
Since I
don't
wasn't
have to.
originally arrested with them?
Yeah,
I'm
of
just
course.
gonna leave normally.
Yeah.
Through the door.
Mhm. Okay. You're brought down.
Shaking your hands.
Shaking your SMH. Can't believe it. Terrible place inside. You all find yourselves back ingratiated into society. There are several sort of people looking in your direction. It's made as a show on purpose to show that everything is not being hidden. There's no sort of scrutiny to be made. People saw you go up, and now they've seen you come down. And now you're left to deal with the sort of the aftermath of it all. But we're going to have a quick break before we dive into more. After having a conversation with the Empress, we're going to be back in 5 minutes or so. So grab a drink, have a wee-wee, and we'll be back in a sec. See you then.
Bye.
Hello and welcome back. Alex, you are now free.
Yay!
You are no longer chained. Welcome back. We've returned from our break, and we are going to be continuing where we last left off. So, the party have had their discussion with the Empress, Winona Shiva of the Fire Giants, and the core. A sort of fairly understanding conversation where they had both sides resenting the houses and wanting to do something better for the city, but also trying to keep some anonymity as well as make sure that the others do not see their involvement with each other, to keep that secret. Now the party have to deal with the sort of repercussions of their actions from the last session with the rest of the people in the city, including the houses themselves, as they have not been informed of anything just yet. Where do you go now that you've sort of landed in the city? A lot of the people are looking around. There's no one that's kind of like tried to apprehend or do anything towards you guys. So you are free to go about your business. Where do you want to go and what do you want to do?
Leave the city.
Never come back.
Imagine.
Are the people looking at us in recognition and
Well, these are the people. There's a mix of people, right? Your performance on the larger stage brought in people around the base. They had seen you guys directly rather than the illusions. So they've noticed you. They've seen you. They've seen you being taken away. And some of them have stayed and some of them have gone. There's only a couple of them that still recognize you as you come back, whilst others have been walking through and see you land in this space, and they're a little bit confused as to who you are and why you've arrived. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. Some of them do recognize you.
Do they look at us with a disdain recognition or like oh nice recognition?
Kind of a confused,
Hey, weren't executed.
Yeah, kind of a confused look because you've been taken away and brought back down. You're not sort of in handcuffs. Nothing's like seemingly happened from their perspective, so they don't have anything really to say. One of them who was here previously, as you're kind of like walking off the pedestal after being brought here by the giants, they fly off back up to their sort of ship above. Meanwhile, this one individual, a slightly more scrawny halfling, just kind of wanders around. What happened? What happened? You were here and then you went up and then you came back down again. What's going on?
Everything will be fine. We'll address it later. But thank you for your concern.
Oh, well,
How are the people here? Is anyone else heard from arcane systems not working?
I'm sure a few people are, yeah, but what happened when you were up there?
Ven looks to the party with like a...
Am I there yet?
You
Or
can
does
be
it
if
doesn't
you
take me
want.
much longer to... Okay. We explained the situation to the authorities and they decided that this was not involving them. And then we were brought back down.
Okay. Well, keep doing it. And he just kind of raises his hand. And
Thanks. Thank you for your support.
he just walks off.
Spread the word.
Okay.
Why have you just doomed this random ass happening?
Hey, he seems happy enough.
That's the mastermind, you guys. That's our boss.
Our own Travis Villar. No, I'm kidding.
On the topic of Travis Phenomena, is it like a big newspaper in town that we can guarantee like 80% of the city reads?
Yeah.
Whether they want to or not?
There are printing presses.
Whether they want to or
Ma-
not.
Yeah, you know, those papers you get thrown in your mailbox, no
Yeah,
matter
yeah.
if you want them or not. Can we like draft a statement, a written one, just hand it in to them and be like, "Ayo,
Sure.
you want a big story? You want to publish this?"
You do know that they are controlled by the House Leviathan. They are the scribes and the writers. So they've kind of taken control of all of the news output here. But their factories where they do the printing press from is all powered by arcane. And there's no arcane flowing in it. So they're just kind of like closed temporarily. All of their workforce is just sat outside, just kind of twiddling their thumbs. Not much else to do as they're just waiting. A couple of them are like scratching their head, just a bit confused and miffed by all of this. A few of their writers, you see them just using like pen and paper, just constantly writing down new things that they've seen and preparing for the next batch that they end up making once the power turns on, if it ever does. So
Okay, so that's not really a possibility.
Hmm.
Can we just make statements and post them all over the city? Paper, just boop, 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 boop.
yes, Alex?
I have a
Yes.
crazy question.
Yeah.
Like a really wild question.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Is there a way that I can use myself as a generator?
Yeah.
What say we turn these machines back on?
We
Okay.
can show off.
Is this something that you wish to pursue?
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
All right. The large printing press factory that's here, you can find a few people that are kind of working the main floor, and a lot of sort of underlings going towards one person who seems to be the sort of manager of everything. He's a satyr who is quite stout fellow, just like pot belly a little bit, kind of like poking outwards from his shirt. He's not necessarily tall, he's small in stature, and you see him kind of like smoking from a pipe.
Is he a house member or is he just a worker in charge?
You would
Is
know
he just
that
a guy in
lot of
charge or is he a house member?
You would know that a lot of the House Leviathan are made from both humans and satyrs. But this person in particular, you don't recognize from any of the depictions written on the House Leviathan little page and information
that's good.
boards. So they seem to be perhaps a worker here rather than a house officiate. He's just smoking.
In
his
general,
pipe.
what do we know about House Leviathan after having just gotten a giant input?
House Leviathan, in general, a fairly sort of they're a powerhouse in terms of information. They feed the city for its information coming in and out. So anything that happens inside and outside is all published by them. Their papers are sold around the world as well, so they aren't just focused on Alakshayr. But from the sort of what you had seen on the board that you had previously, is that their discretions by other houses are swept pretty much under the rug. There's never been a bad word that's been said about the houses, so perhaps there is some allegiances between them that no bad news is publicized. The way that Thodane was able to publicize all of the stuff that happened in the Dream Factory was because it was such public news by that point that if they didn't publicize it, then they would have been seen as being sort of affiliated directly. So they kind of had to press the button against House Relindia on that one. But for the most part, outside of that, they're all pretty much working alongside each other, very, very systematic in how they approach certain issues and publicize them. And there has been like a shift of workers as well. Whenever a worker hasn't complied or done something that they wanted to do, then they typically get replaced and they're issued outside of the city. And taken away. So they have to follow the rules quite sternly, otherwise they will get punished. But the leading members are not here, so perhaps you can persuade and get away with a new scoop without them getting too vocal about it.
Let's try. Oh boy.
I think we got this.
Okay. You got this.
We got this.
Oh, I'm right behind you.
This might be copium, but I think we got this.
Max has full faith in us.
What time of day is it now?
It's at this point midday, since it was kind of
Midday.
late in the evening and then early morning. So yeah, it's about midday now.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah,
Good day.
is it?
I was. No, you
It's
had
pretty
a.
shit if you ask me.
Well,
City's falling
I might.
apart. People are fucking dying. And I can't write about it. What's the fucking point?
What would you like to write about? In a way that the city can see?
Would a brothel like horny men?
I don't take that as a yes.
That's a resounding yes.
Well, I won't insult your intelligence. I'm sure you can see what I am. You see, we have a statement we would like to make and publish, which I assume would be very difficult with the current situation, but I have a way to get your machines up and functional again.
What's the catch? Someone
You
always wants
publish-
payment for these things.
No payment, just
Oh
What
no, I'll
we
pay you,
say-
because otherwise there's no transaction. I have to pay you because it'll be on the books.
fair enough. But
What do you
is there a
need?
way that well,
Be sensible now.
This guy has just started to glare at this guy because he keeps interrupting and she's just like,
I'll ask for 100 platinum.
Imagine.
imagine. Well, what do you usually offer to reporters?
Depends on the scoop. But you're also providing a power source, you say?
Yes. The scoop involves an event that happened a little earlier today. I'm sure I won't have to tell you which one.
Well, if we say that each paper costs around 3 copper pieces to make, and we make around 1,000 every hour. How long can you sustain the power for?
DM?
You've never tried this before.
Well, I can't stay here. We don't know when the power will come back, but let's say I stay until the end of the day.
So that'll give us a solid 8 hours of work then. Okay. 24,000 copper. So what is it you want to put in the publication then? What's this scoop that you've got? And be honest, direct. I don't do bullshit.
Well, if it's honesty you want, we know the people who made the statement
Ah.
on the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And we just want to tell their side of the story without offending anyone. Matter of fact,
You want to
they
offend
planned-
everyone. Don't try and placate to everyone's needs. You have to offend someone. It's the paper.
that is true. I'm sure someone will be offended. Someone always is.
Well, with a scoop like this of the recent events, where people have plenty of additional information to fill the subsequent pages of our paper, I'll give you the front page.
Thank you very much.
Make sure you have a hook of a title, though.
Well, we will.
And I'll print anything, even if it's in favor of the house or against.
And one of us please inside this man. Not me, because I
Nah,
suck at
I
it.
love him.
I
Love him.
feel like this is a proper shrewd businessman.
Yeah, no need to insight.
But
He seems
I can
completely honest.
I can do it for shits and giggles.
Okay.
Oh, don't roll that one, please.
Let's see. It's 2 1s.
Nice. With an 11. This guy's probably been working here for fucking years. He looks jaded as all fuck. He doesn't give a shit anymore. He's just looking at it. He just wants to churn over business, go on to the next. There's also potential that this catches on and maybe opens up other avenues to other stories that he's probably been wanting to publish in a while. So he seems to be at least on side.
Awesome sauce.
Okay, well, with a headline like that, I can probably get our ads to pay a bit more money. Plus, people are starved to know what's going on and get the big bucks on this one. I'll give you 50,000 copper. And you can put whatever you want on the front page. Just no swearing.
No,
Keep it PG.
I didn't. Children read the newspapers as
appreciate
well.
I'm not a monster. Although I am a publicist.
There's some difference.
Sure.
Well, regardless, we appreciate the offer, and we're obviously going to keep our part of it. We're going to help our friend here hook up in a second. What is your name? It's a pleasure doing business with you.
Jared.
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 Where are my Sunday notes? I guess we try and get Mobius.
Yeah, let's try to get this show on the road.
So I'm going to try and hook you into the power source.
You
All
know,
right, come with me.
Yeah. Lead the way.
I'll show you around the back. And he'll just saunter his way through. He just opens up the back area where the sort of maintenance tunnels are for all of the sort of machinery hooked up at different parts and panels, access and switches to turn things on and off. You see the entire behind the scenes of the printing factory, and the floor itself, the main floor, is huge. There are machines going into machines, all inert, and people trying to like scratch their heads and fix some things that got jammed in the main, in the middle of their process as the power went off. But you go around the back, and you see the sort of main glass sort of power cable that's used here, left to the side. A few of the engineers have been trying to reroute things and try to restore at least some of the breakers that had broken through the power cut. So instant, it seemed like a feedback had gone through and destroyed something. So they've been repairing it with little like small enchanted lights on their heads that kind of look through. Hey, boss, what's going on here? I've got a way to get this place up and running again. Oh, really? How? Looks towards you, Mobius.
Kind of waves a little.
We're gonna plug this guy in. Plug him in? What does that mean? Just plug him in.
Don't worry, I'll be fine.
Boss,
My build.
how the fuck are we supposed to do that? I don't hire you to ask me questions. I hire you to do things. Okay, boss. You got it. We'll try and do our best then. They bring you over, Mobius, to where all of the sort of cabling comes to one. I don't know if this is going to work, so hopefully you're all right.
I'm sure I'll be fine, but thank you for your concern.
All right, with all the cables hooked up, all we have to do is a flick of this switch. You good?
Yes.
Okay. Meanwhile, the guy, Jared, is just looking from afar. Don't die, kid.
Hope I don't.
Power on! This fucking energy starts pouring out of you, Mobius, as your matrix is used as a makeshift battery. All of the machines here begin to whir back in as they all activate once more, as your matrix is a power source that is very similar to what they use in the factories up top. Now, as it is running and churning through, what is the newspaper? What is the headline that you end up coming together and writing towards? Since all of you...
We're sorry, but not wrong.
Wait, that's a good one.
And then the context is just, so we apologize for being so harsh, but also we'd appreciate if the houses were more transparent with what they're doing and what they're doing to fix this issue that they may or may not have created. No, okay, don't include that.
Allegedly.
And also if they have been in talks with Zefto about what's going on, if they are at fault, and why has the public not heard anything about it?
What are they doing to fix it? Like, put a large focus on what exactly is happening behind the scenes to fix this problem the city is having.
This was all a work of concerned citizens that kind of jumped the gun, didn't think
emphasize
through.
Us being a bit, like, good-hearted, but a bit clueless.
Okay. So all of this is sort of placed in the first and the following pages as you kind of publicize. The sort of ghostwriter that you have next to you is kind of taking all of this on, just nodding along. Okay, just scratching, making notes here and there. But eventually you see the lines of newspaper being printed on these sort of cylindrical arcane machines as they are inputted with certain sequences, and then they roll and then create the first, then second and third pages as they roll through the entire machine on these conveyor belts as they go up and down and eventually land and pack together in bundles as people place them on their backs, on the harnesses that they have, and they all begin to go out in their sort of droves of people. Carts as well being used to take some of the longer routes to distant areas, and even the publication begins to get taken to ships as well outside of Alakshayr and going outside of its borders and away as well. So the publication starts spreading around. Mobius, you're still hooked in for this duration. Whilst you are plugged in, there's parts where you can kind of see everything around you in like blurred colors, but it's kind of like an ethereal dream that you can't quite understand what's happening. It's like you're asleep but awake, so it's all very lucid, and on occasion you can kind of see things approach you and leave you, some things that you've seen before and other things you've never seen in your life, just kind of flickering in and out. Can you roll a perception check, please?
Yes, sir. Please, guys, do this to me.
Okay. You're seeing things come in and out that have different backings, different surroundings, and these seem to be faint memories of other people that are coming into your mind as you're having this exposure of energy to something that is very integral to your entire personality, your core. This is your soul that is being almost drained here, but your matrix revitalizes after a day. So this is power that will be spent, but you'll regain at some point after some rest. Eventually, the power is fully used as much as is needed, and you are unplugged as your usage for the day has come to an end. The printing press factory stops altogether as you see Jared, the sort of floor manager, just looks at you. You good?
I didn't die?
No. I'm glad, otherwise I'd have to fill in a lot of paperwork.
Well, I'm glad you don't have to fill in paperwork.
That news is spreading. So it's definitely
Already?
working. If you guys have anything else like that, you know who to talk to.
Thank you for helping us.
Of course. Anything to spread real information.
Will you be alright though? Are the houses not going to be mad that you allowed us to do this? Oh, no, yeah, stupid question. Okay.
He just nods for you guys to leave.
Thank you again. Bye.
What a weird person.
Very odd.
The bags of copper are left for you to the side as one of the guards just brings them over. Here you go.
500 gold, right?
They really couldn't have just
500?
put it into gold.
No. No, that's utterly impossible.
They only
How
deal
do
in
you
copper.
propose such a thing?
I love it.
But we also can't go to the bank because that's also controlled by.
They just refuse to give us the change. Fucking hell.
We can bring it to the reserve though, right? Like Tessa's waiting for us to bring her 500,000 gold. No, 50,000 gold, right? No, it was 50,000 gold. So this is a down payment of 500 gold, and that's in copper. I know.
With the newspaper being spread around, you see people picking them up, reading them. Some of them are even holding them in their hands as they're kind of like ushering to other sort of like groups and other guards here and other establishments. Yeah, it seems like it's catching on. Is there anything that you're doing seeing this or going towards?
Well,
Trying to listen in what the general consensus is between people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are they questioning the houses? Are they agreeing what was said? Are they opposing what was said?
Mm-hmm. As you're kind of passing through and keeping an ear to the ground, you can see that people are still affected by the blackout. So a lot of the people who have been, you see them all kind of voicing their opinion towards against the house in favor of what you guys have said in your publication. Meanwhile, still the sort of people employed by the houses and have their sort of livelihoods tied in with them, they all kind of dismiss it. But they aren't fighting against it. They're just saying, no, it's not true. It's not true. How can we believe this? They've done everything for us. That's my livelihood. They've given me my work. Like, all of these conversations are being had. One place where it seems to be the most vocal, though, is outside of that academy, the place where you went to, the Relindir Academy. A lot of them are still kind of outside of its gates, and now they've amassed a fair decent group of people. There's probably a few thousand people just kind of like surrounding the premises, and now with the sort of newspapers that they have in hand, they're kind of raising them up and just kind of shouting, "Turn the power on," as they're just chanting all in unison.
Nice.
Where do you guys go with this now?
Should they be releasing more to put more fire under their asses to respond? Because in the meantime, the houses don't seem to have responded with anything. Or have
is there
they?
anything we
Alternative newspaper.
Maybe we should go check on 13 or like our house, see if they send anyone to like.
If we
Yeah,
also
maybe they
have
send us a
mass of
letter.
protesters.
One thing
I feel like
One thing to consider is that you guys are a tightly knit group that have a very sort of quick press on the button when it comes to actioning things. These houses have been working a very delicate sort of ecosystem where none of each other are stepping on each other's toes, and when something like this happens so quickly, they can't fight it as fast as you can kind of create this sort of gust of wind to stoke the fire. They have to be political, talk amongst themselves, make sure that they come up with a plan, and that might take days. So that's why nothing's really happened yet on their behalf. And that's why they acted so quickly against you to try and stop you from talking further, because it complicates their lives by a megaton. So now that you guys have been pressing the button and pressing it again, they're going to be on the back foot for a while now. So you have the initiative here when it comes to pushing this agenda until one of the houses, if they don't come to a complete unison of an agreement, one of them may step out of line and try to do their own thing. But that hasn't happened yet.
Should we try to pressure the other houses as well then? To try to basically buy us more time and create more chaos on their end? Like, we could go for House Mortem and their involvement with Guild, technically speaking. We could still step on House Relindir for the Dream Factory stuff.
Well, that was
Yeah, why don't we just do that?
organized.
Like every day, one huge story to
Yeah.
Like,
keep sowing
the Empress
discord
handed
and
us a lot
stuff.
of evidence, so we can use that. And just one per day, every day, a different family.
different
Like
house.
this.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yes, that's good.
Okay, is that the
Just
plan?
back to back to back.
Were there any houses in the Empress's wall of evidence that just seemed, they fucked up every now and again, but it wasn't anything as grievous? Anything as people's life endangering?
From the major houses, because there are quite a few, the only ones that wouldn't be necessarily as bad as the others would probably be House Leviathan, since they are the controllers of information, but they work on a grand scale where they have no real choice in going against the other houses when it comes to information. They feed the information. They can choose not to do it, but that'll hurt them. So House Leviathan are in this sort of awkward middle ground where they can't really push any agendas, but they have to comply with others. So they have to just do as they're told.
Can we,
Mm.
in our writings, kind of slightly imply that we're offering an olive branch to them? Like,
That's what I
we're
was
giving them an
thinking.
out by saying, like, they could have stopped this information, but they're not, or something along those lines. Like, just giving them an out to separate themselves from the houses in this
Yeah.
looking very bad for the houses situation.
Yeah.
Up to you guys. You have the
Because-
initiative on all of this, so.
Do we want to
We
do that?
can. My thing here is, I feel like we've been in the public eye enough for today.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. This is days and days
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah.
Days
Yeah.
ahead, yeah.
So we can. I feel like tomorrow is a good opportunity for House Leviathan, because we can be like, hey, they let us make that, or like we made that statement in one of their factories, something along. Maybe we don't have to like dox the factory, but something along the lines of this information got out to you, and then somehow.
I don't know.
the
That feels
olive
like it would
branch.
push them in a
Not-
corner, and if they're in a corner,
Yeah,
it feels like they might instead like bundle up and go with the safety in numbers, meaning
Yeah.
they're sticking to the
I
other
think-
families. We have to sort of make it seem like it's the best option for them to join us rather than continue with the houses.
As a small suggestion, you could also, because the paper is almost a middle ground that isn't affiliated with you guys directly, you could also get accounts from the Fire Giants as well if you wanted to. You can involve other people who want to be more present and more focused if you have someone elected to do so. Perhaps, for example, since Rudy has mentioned that he's seen things that the houses have done, you could publicize his name as being an account for all of this. Someone who's a captain and has been on the floor and has been a sort of confidant to some people. You could use his name. He'd be happy for that.
If he's willing to do that,
he would,
especially
yeah.
because he's not
Could
one of the
we-
fire giants. That would,
Could
that's
we-
good.
Get some of the civilians as well to share their stories about how they've
could.
been affected by the outage,
Mhm.
like something more personal.
You do get papers who do that, who are like published letters from the public
Yeah.
to just
Yeah.
show
Yeah.
like raw public comment.
Mhm.
But I think when we're writing the papers, it's if you don't want to include House Leviathan, we can just name specific houses, never refer to just
And
the
never mention
houses.
them.
Yeah, never
Yeah.
mention the House Leviathan, and
Yeah.
never say the houses as a conglomerate group. Name
Mhm.
exactly which house you're blaming or you're tying the issues to.
I like that. And that makes it seem like, oh, we don't have anything against this specific house, if you want.
Yeah,
But all
yeah,
these
because it gets
other
everyone focused
guys.
on the houses that are actually causing the issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of also like offering an olive branch to them.
Exactly.
Of like, see,
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
not like name dropping you guys.
Yeah, we're not going
let us
after
keep
the
doing
entire
that.
system. We would never
Yeah.
do that.
That's good. That's good.
That's
The
later
only
down the
flip
line.
to it, that someone could make out of it is why is obviously the paper isn't going to mention themselves.
Yeah, but we're kind of
But-
working independently.
But also,
Yeah, I don't
the
know
public doesn't know
who would
that.
use that. Yeah, I don't know how that might be used, but that's just the only
It
potential.
could be
But, like-
something that the other houses maybe use against them as a retort
Yeah.
Yeah.
if they start having infighting.
but I
Which
also
we
feel
kinda
like that
want.
people can intuit if we know that news have been censored before, and now suddenly after this happened, now it's kind of freer. I feel like people are smart enough to reach a conclusion without us feeding it to them.
Yeah, I feel
Also-
like when you have to write, we are not censoring ourselves, and this is not censored by the houses. It kind of sounds like you're having a gun pointed to your head, right?
Yeah.
In that, so
Yeah, but I'm not saying we write that.
no. You're right. You're right. That's what I'm
Ah.
saying.
Yeah.
I agree.
And
There's-
also,
Go on.
Also, once since the Empress said that she might make a statement together with them, or once they do that, we can also make a large publication about like, here is the POV of the giants. Not take any sides ourselves, but just be like, this is what happened. Just in case people miss that, they can read it again in the newspaper. Oh, I love that we now control the newspaper.
yeah.
Well,
Should we
not
talk about the undersea
We'll see how long.
and like how
Yes.
it's been
yes,
misplaced, etc.
Okay.
Okay.
So
everything.
everything.
That's doom,
100,000 page newspaper.
We might. Would it be crazy?
Multiple days.
Omnibus.
Wait.
This is. I imagine we're literally doing this until House of Leviathan tries
Of course,
to stop us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, as long as we manage to get the factory running, we're gonna try and keep doing this.
Wait, we're
I
going to
feel
play it
I
day by
also.
day. Go on, Alex.
Yeah. Sorry. I had another crazy idea. This is just like in-game time. Let's say they don't respond in like 3 days. Like there's no response from the houses. We go and we interview Zeftal so they can be like on their involvement, and that maybe also light the fire even more, because then it's like Zeftal responded. Zeftal is like, we know we have
Yeah,
storms, guys, but
that's
it's not us.
That's really good.
Like, we have nothing to hide. Why the houses aren't
Yeah.
responding? Suspicious.
Okay. Well, with the end of this first day, you return back to the detective agency to see if anything has changed. Nothing has really changed. Mainly Thodane and the rest of his employees, and as well Thorn and Shiloh, they all kind of like are helping out where they can in regards to gathering information that you may need, but also kind of like being the people on the ground talking to those affected. Thodane has about 6 employees under his wing that he can use to gather information for you on a day-by-day basis. So they all kind of like help out where they can. You guys do the same, going back to the publication to give more information on the next day and the following day. So the first day ends with nothing, no response from the houses, nothing. They all seem to be quite quiet during all of this. The next day, you prepare this plan to gather testimonies from people direct. Is that the next one you're considering, or what's the sort of theme of this second publication you want to push?
I feel like the next one should be focused on the outage and Villandir. So essentially with this day's Villandir and all the shit that happened because of the outage, and not us immediately going, and it's because of them, but rather presenting the evidence we have and letting people come to their own conclusions. I feel like that.
Interviewing the students of their academy.
Yes, why so? You've been protesting for 2 days.
From students, people who were most affected, and maybe also the fire giant guards, if they're willing.
Okay. With some of these testimonies you're picking up now, the power still hasn't returned. People are still struggling on a day-by-day basis. They have now been ushered to hospitals, even some of them that are in critical condition, as some of them have ended up in comas because their neurolinks, the sort of feed that they have to the enhancements that they wanted, have now gone completely kaput. So they are in this sort of stasis of sleep. So you gather information from the families affected by those. You gather some other information from other testimonies, as well as focusing on the Relindir side of things at both the Academy and the effects of the power outage overall, pushing towards this narrative against the Relindir house. Indirectly so. As you do so, you write down the publication. Jared is still there. You see he's still kind of like mute as anything. He doesn't really give a shit. He's just, okay, well, another 50,000 copper then.
This is how we pay for our homeless shelter.
Propaganda. No,
You keep providing this information, I'll keep paying you. You're the only thing that's ticking over this place, so make sure to keep using that nifty old battery of yours.
Have you heard nothing of House Leviathan?
No.
No contact. Is that typical for them? Are they usually this hands-off, or...?
They're writers. They're as mouthy as any of them.
Another
So it's
card.
not typical?
Kilvin wishes that he was this guy, bro. Holy.
Holy aura.
Just keep providing the stories, I guess.
Okay.
Keep pummeling it.
You push this second publication out. Again, the printing press is print out everything it can.
So...
Yeah.
Can we, in the meantime, help any
Yeah.
people that we can
Yeah, of course you
help?
can. How are you going to be helping, and in what way would you like to help the people?
Is there any way to like channel arcane power into something? There was the batteries Talon
Yes.
was working on. Maybe try to get those to the hospital, to the people who are in the most critical condition. See if it can be used to power back on their devices.
Yeah.
Maybe ask Talon if there's a way to make more of these batteries.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
As you go to him on the second day, after Fennel had spoken to him directly about maybe doing something against the Arcane Factory, maybe destroying it or reactivating it in person, you see he's gathered a few of his kind of like confidants, people he's worked with in the past. Samara's also there, just trying to help out and feeding everyone and giving people drinks. But they are kind of like helping each other out, and you see that he has created several batteries in the form of the same thing that he was using to power up some of those vehicles previously that you'd seen in the Swift Drifters. He has like several of these packs that he's been handing out to people as they come and go. Seems like they take a lot of resources to make, and a lot of them seem to be made out of the porcelain pots and the sort of toilet systems that he started pushing towards as a new venture. So a lot of them have that ceramic white elements around the sides. If you squint a little hard enough, it looks like a toilet. So he's kind of repurposed a lot of his previous ventures into this new gimmick. And with these batteries, he's now kind of handing them over to different people. As soon as you arrive, he'll give you like 3 to work with if you need them. He'll just say, look, all you have to do is pump in some of that Arcana spellcasting that you have. It doesn't matter what sort of origin it has. Just as long as you invoke it inside the machine, it'll absorb it, and then it will last for however long the potency of the spell that you've wanted to imbue it with will go on for. So it's pretty handy. It will give a little field of energy for things that need it. So there have been pacemakers that I've been able to at least keep going during this time. They just need constant pumps of energy. But yeah, these people turning that power off, I think we can get it on. If you really want to fucking hit them hard, we can go in there and turn it on. But I don't know what you guys have got cooking up, because I've read the news. Shit.
Do you think they won't take the
No,
credit
that's-
for it? Do you think they won't try to take the credit for it?
They might, but people need it. So at what point do we just turn a blind eye if we can do it, you know?
Well, if you're certain you can without exploding anything or anyone, then you should do it.
Okay.
We can have a
I
piece
was not 100%
prepared in the
confident.
paper. We could have a piece prepared for the paper, set like to go out the day you do it,
Sure.
Do you
or
want
the
her
day,
name
or
in
the
the
day,
paper?
or the day after, saying that the paper
Oh.
got contacts correspondence of a group going in to turn the power back on before the houses can respond.
Well,
Give them an ultimatum, but then they can prepare.
No, not prior to it. The day after it gets turned back on.
Before they get to spin the story, we already have a paper
Exactly.
ready to go.
I can do. I don't know if it's going to help, but I'm happy to have my name in it.
Are you sure? Even
Yeah.
with your
Yeah.
previous...
You could.
familial relations?
You could. I don't know how much it would help, but if you're trying to spin the fact that some houses are trying to do good, you could put my house name in there if you want. It's a possibility.
Could, only if you're comfortable with it. I know you don't want to be associated with them exactly.
Well, there's a point where you can only run so much. And if I don't try and change it, then it will always stay the same. So, if it's something you think will help with what you're doing, I'm happy if you add Nightingale in there.
Okay. Just stay safe.
I'll be fine. I've got new shit I've been working on anyway. If any of them try anything funny, I'll just make them a little bit incapacitated.
Uh-huh.
Okay. A little bit.
Yeah.
Please don't kill any civilians.
Remind me not to piss you off.
I'm not going to kill any civilians. I'm going to just, make them go blank a little bit.
Blank?
Do you have a flashbang?
I have,
No, he said blank, not blind. That's very different.
yeah, I've been looking into the mind, and I can fuck with people's heads. I can revert it back. But if they do naughty things, I can perhaps make them not feel so naughty.
Okay.
Helen. And then places a very firm hand on his shoulder. Careful with how you use that power.
Of course. But I don't want to be a killer. So if someone comes at me with intentions to kill, I'm going to make them forget that. I don't want to have to deal with the repercussions of someone having to fight me while I'm trying to fight for this city.
I know. Just don't let it get to your head. We know where that leads.
Yeah. It might a little bit, but I won't make it. I'll stop myself if anything gets too far.
Just looks at him. Looks at Samara. Keep an eye on him. And just walks away.
I know, I don't really understand what he's doing most of the time, but I support him. Oh, he's given me a thing that allows me to blank his mind if he does anything wrong.
Okay. Good.
Ah,
I think I'm more worried about that.
I know, it's a little bit... I get scared. Sometimes it looks like my lipstick.
Well, hopefully it's
Okay.
you don't get it confused if you ever need to use it.
I know. But I've always got it on me.
Fucking Men in Black ass. What the fuck?
Pretty much.
so do any have any weird gaps in our memory? No? Okay. Thank God.
Bitch, they
It's-
can try.
It's more of a sedate. It's more of a just cause someone to almost turn into a blubbering mess. Temporarily nullify someone.
It's more like temporary people mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
And he said he can reverse it if needed as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what's temporary.
In case he wants them to have murderous intent for some reason.
No, it's like,
Yes.
you wipe them of their murderous intent, you put them in prison, so don't worry, it'll just be a minute, and then you take it off, it's like, right, why did you have murderous intent?
Don't worry, this is a nice little cushioned area. Okay.
All right.
With this
Right.
in mind, you prepare the next publication. Second day finishes. You can see that the city is still kind of like bubbling away, and the academy is now being completely covered with several people surrounding it. They aren't the only ones now being surrounded. You can see the factories as well. People have marched up to the top of the mountains, and they have placed themselves in kind of like makeshift camps, staring down the sort of factory grounds by the gated communities, just protesting, waiting for them to be sort of opened and turning the power back on. There have been slight elements of escalation where it's been heard that some people have tried to push and probably try and break in some instances, but a lot of the crowds have stopped them. They've kind of like self-policed and tried to stop any escalations from going further, because they know that as soon as one of them step out, then that'll give enough of an incline for the others to step on them. And they don't want that just yet, at least. There's still time to fix things.
Honestly, that sounds kind of like a perfect place for Sienna to spend her days while she's needed with the other planning. Because, yeah, keeping the peace in areas like that sounds like exactly her thing. So she's going to be there trying to keep the mood stable. Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to
All
prevent
of our
any
followers start to show
civilian injury.
They all start hovering in the air.
Well, we have
Bro,
time
did
to
you
talk
ever
about a
find
lot
your
of Savior.
fucking band?
The band.
Oh yeah, I need to do something with the band.
Find the band?
There
I
is
kind of
somewhere.
forgot about them for a bit.
Fuck's sake, bro. I just
Yeah,
remember them.
No, that's good. Something I'll do during these days as well, in between some of the other stuff that we're doing. I wanna check in and see what the fuck they're doing. I don't think they were left alone too long by the time we got arrested.
Yeah. They'd kind of been
And I
left
told
for a
them
day,
to
I
like get to
believe.
know the city.
Yeah.
And I told them to get to know the city. To be fair.
As you try and track them back down, you do see them. One of them is in the middle of a protest, fight alongside the others. You see the kind of like tall, slender elven person who is just kind of like standing there. He's not like yelling or protesting, but he's just like nodding along, looking at everyone, just kind of like vibing with the whole situation. The other two, you find them kind of like script writing, trying to come up with new songs as they're just in a park. One of them's like in meditation. Their hands are in the ground. The other one's just like, oh, come on, what rhymes with orange? Fucking nothing rhymes with orange. As they're just working along. But you can gather them back up together.
Yeah, so I'll get them. I don't know. Wherever.
Yo,
like
man, what the fuck is going on in this city? You said this place was cool. This place is great. It's fucking awesome.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. I think I've got an idea for your next gig. By the way, have you heard anything about the Have you heard anything about the issues that's going on at the moment?
Have we heard about them? We were fucking reading the news. Have you read it, man? Look at this shit.
Good. We're gonna do a charity gig.
Oh, not another one.
Mate, it's good for you. You're gonna get so much public attention with all this going on right now.
When are we gonna get the money, man?
Hey, mate, you've been paid.
Yeah, but
remember they paid you at the last gig.
Yeah, I spent it all on drugs and hookers.
Well, hey, I'm not your mother. I'm not gonna tell you how to spend your money, but maybe you need to put some of it aside for a bed. You know.
Okay, I guess that's why you're the boss.
Right. I'll get you a room, but you need to be a little bit more careful.
I think we might need someone that handles our finances. I don't think I should be having this much money. I've never really had this much money in my life, so I think I need someone to like invest it for me.
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. We'll look into that after this gig. Yeah.
Okay, great. Cause I just spent it again on hookers and drugs. So.
Anyway, we're gonna raise funds to help the city, right? Okay, that's the goal.
Okay. Are we bringing a voice to the people, sort of thing?
Yes, exactly.
Is this gonna be like a rage against the authoritarian dictatorship that's here? I know it's not that, but something like that.
It's Something like that. Something like that.
Fuck yeah, man. Okay. You know.
But not too angry, all right? We're not trying to start a riot.
Oh, I think that may be hard to do.
What, start a riot or not start a riot?
Not start a riot. I feel
Right,
like
okay.
music is like
Whatever you write.
encouraging and
Yeah. But encouraging people to be upset is one thing. Encouraging the riot,
okay. Maybe
some
something
anger is
about
good.
like the wool being covered over your eyes or something like that, and you're now seeing the
Yes.
light. I'll try and make it less gospel and more hard hitting.
Yes.
Okay, see what we can do. All right, yo, Shag! As he's just shouting over to the other one. Let's come on. Let's think of some lyrics. I'm still thinking about orange. I can't. What? Do you know what rhymes with orange?
What rhymes with orange? Nothing. Don't use the word orange.
Okay, I like oranges.
Oranges are good. Like it's nice, but you don't need to sing about them.
Maybe just sing about vitamin C.
There's a lot you can do with C.
You can see it. Oh shit! I can see. As he's writing
Yeah,
these things
you
down.
can sell. You sell on the C as well, don't you?
It's a letter. How are you gonna? Oh, you're talking about
It
the.
rhymes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Writes it down.
Great.
All right, man. Don't worry.
I'll sort out the location.
Perfect. You give us a time and a day. We'll fucking be there. All right.
Sounds good.
Send
How
you
long
the
do you need?
shaggers. Let's go.
How long do you need for music?
I'll do it tonight, man. We just fucking improv this shit.
I'll see if I can get something sorted for tomorrow. If not, day after.
You got it, boss. You got it. Damn, man, we have the best boss. As you're walking away.
Oh Lord.
Okay. Anything else
Oh,
on
they're great.
on day 2?
Yeah, I'm gonna start inquiring as to where we could perform. Quick question: where the students are protesting,
Yeah.
is it like quite a big space?
Yeah. It's a large sort of. There's an open.
Could you fit a
courtyard outside.
stage?
Yeah, you could. Yeah. You don't need to have a
Could build a stage
massive like sort of backstage. You can have like a central podium stage and have it going outwards that way, so that everyone sees from every
that'd be
corner.
good. Yeah.
Just create a plinth
That'd
in
be
the middle
good.
and then do it from there. You have
All right.
ways of like accentuating the voice and whatnot through illusion-based magic and through like people like Melody as well, who's shown to be able to project. So you could have their performance be on a more of a larger stage. They're intimate people there in front of the people who need it, and then echoed out in illusion elsewhere if you need it. So that's day 2, planning and preparing for that.
Yeah. Start getting some things together. Find some kind of builders guilds. Find.
Where you have the reserve.
But yeah, yeah. I've got their contacts. That's true.
Okay. You start preparing all of this together. Anything else on day 2 before day 3 comes in?
Just heading to the hospital to pump the spells into the batteries and hand them to the staff there, because I can put the spells in. I'm not touching people's brains and hearts. Thank you very much.
Okay. As you hand over the batteries, you can see the workforce here. A lot of them have sort of ties to House Mortem in some way or fashion, but they are just workers for them. House Mortem is pretty much the sort of morticians and the sort of health professionals here for Alakshayr. They're all trained by the heads within the mausoleum that they have. But you give them the batteries, you help out where you can. A lot of them seem to have, there's murmurs of discarding the houses, and some of them have kind of like taken a step back because they've not been given orders from House Mortem. So there are a few people that have quit because of it. But those who have stayed, you see them having kind of torn away their house banner and kind of just going freely and working where they can and helping out the people, because that's what they're here to do. The people who have left, They were here for either the glory or money, and not here for the people. So those that are left, they seem loyal. You give them the batteries. They are very gracious and thankful of it, and they place everyone who needs them within the same sort of court, within the same area, as that energy then just siphons off through ethereal energies into wherever it needs. It doesn't power them
Then
up
get
completely, but they are now somewhat corpus mentis.
Can then get their testimonies as well, the hospital
Sure,
staff,
yeah.
and if any of the patients are somewhat like capable of talking.
Yeah. You see that some of the doctors are fairly upset about the whole situation. One of them being very sort of verbal against the houses for having done this. They have the power to turn it on. They have the power to turn it off. They know what they are doing, yet they still do it either way. People are dying. There was a patient that I had yesterday evening that I could not save. Nothing I could do. Their entire life support system was based off of that arcana, and they had perished because of it. This needs to change. This needs to stop. This protest or whatever they're trying to do here just simply isn't working. And you hear that sort of back and forth from a few of them who are happy to have their name shared within the publication.
He'll write it all down and pass it along the publishing house. Try to pump in as much magic as he can into the batteries before leaving, and he tells them that like if they ever need any more power very quickly to just come to him if possible.
You see, before you leave, Melody will just kind of hold the side of your chin. I'm going to stay, love, and do what I can here. I'll continually pump these batteries. At least these people deserve that. But you
Will you
continue
be
on.
fine?
Oh, of course.
Okay. Thank you for helping.
It's only right.
He gives her a quick hug
Mm-hmm.
and explains to everyone so not everyone is panicked by a shadow figure.
Well, her
that
form has becoming more and more sort of realized. It's been less of this sort of shadow and more of a sort of ghostly image of colors now coming in to effect. And
Still horrifying.
But
there are
yeah.
ghosts in this world. There are wandering ghosts that exist.
Yeah, but you don't appreciate it when they hang around a hospital.
Yeah.
Maybe they're the only place they should be.
Just explains the situation and what she's there to do.
Yeah.
Before leaving, just so they're not caught off guard or not trust her. So even though they do look alike, but yeah.
Okay. Anything else on the second day?
I think it's enough
Okay.
for one day.
Third day comes into effect.
Well-
Go on.
Oh.
Go on, Leonie.
There should be other things that now that the Arcana is gone, the houses are just abandoned. Like projects that were started in the city. I'm thinking mostly construction that would have relied heavily on
The
Arcana.
merchants,
Is there
especially.
shit we can do to help with that?
Well, even the
Is there
merchants.
shit we can offer to do that the houses are refusing to now do? Can we just step in and be like, oh, the houses aren't doing this? Let us help.
A lot of them are having to do with the labor by hand, which they previously used like exoskeletons for. And same goes for the merchants who have used the sort of the roads. Everything is now being blocked off, unusable, inaccessible. So there is less commerce coming into the city. A lot of the people that relied on that, they're getting angry. There are houses that are based around the commerce, and they're being scrutinized for this because part of their income is from these independent sellers. Same with the sort of building architects that are here in the city. They're giving grants by the houses to build and create, but their time schedules are being kind of pushed back, and people are being injured because of the machines no longer working. So
and I imagine there wouldn't, in this very arcane-based city, there wouldn't be too many beasts of burden. So we could offer to, well, we have several horses. We have a yeah, we can help with that.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Give dragon
Yeah.
help.
Exactly.
you can
So
do
yeah,
that.
we're gonna do that.
Sure.
just in general be like, oh, the houses aren't helping?
I guess will help. I guess the Hearts of Tomorrow will help.
But obviously never saying that, but
Yeah.
also being like, well, if there's no one else, then you can rely on us. You know.
Okay, good. With all of that happening on day 2, you move on to day 3. No response from the houses. Nothing has come to
This is
fruition.
getting suspicious. What the fuck are they doing? It's okay.
Can we ask at any point, see if there's any rumors about what they've been talking about, if there's any whispers of what they know?
Yeah, and it was implied that the Empress had someone on the inside. Has she heard anything?
You go and speak to the Empress. Okay.
Yeah.
Meeting
And
up.
already the paper for when Talon and the others activate the thing.
The Empress, you arrive with her and you see that she has a written statement that can be passed on, something signed by both herself and Queen Thimra, both of them with their own personal views on what's been going on in the city, keeping a sort of neutral stance in it all, but kind of pointing a finger at the glaring holes that have happened and the sort of lack there of care by the leadership that is here. And that they are there to give an open hand to anyone who needs it. Nothing sort of imposing, but more so an olive branch. Even with writing down for Queen Thimra's side of things, she has said that the following day, if no action is made by the house, that she will send some of her sort of aid to help out where need be with where they have fallen and faltered, which has been signed on alongside Empress Wynonna Shiva as well. So the two of them are somewhat in agreement to that without overstepping, as this sort of line you're trying to toe is still in process. They don't want to fuck that up. But in the meeting with the Empress, what is it you wish to ask or share as she hands over this sort of written document to you?
Well, Talon's plan, probably.
Mhm.
That we're thinking of escalating the situation with the energy and trying to turn it back on ourselves. Probably. See if she has any input. And also asking if she has heard anything about what the houses are doing. Because it's getting suspicious.
She will just sort of acknowledge that and kind of nods along. Returning the power to the city is a wise choice and shows that there is an active want and need from the people of the city to reinstate the order of things. Hopefully there is no altercations that you run into. If there are, try not to shed any blood, because that only gives them something to fight for. You don't want to give them an excuse to fight against you. Do not make anyone a martyr. That will be the worst thing you can do. Secondly, I have not heard from my informant in a while, but the houses have been quite quiet. Nothing has been mentioned alongside the frequencies that I've used, the different sources that I tend to lean on for this information. A lot of it is very quiet at this moment. It seems that the houses are keeping to themselves. There's not been a broker of information back and forth. My informant is part of one of the houses, but she has not heard from anyone else outside of her own. So we are left with a bit of a cloud, unsure of what their next step is.
All right, then I guess it's just wait and see how they react to the energy going back up, if we manage.
Indeed. With that sort of shared with her, and the sort of lack there of cohesiveness, it seems, with the houses, almost double down at this point, you await for Talon's move to reinstate the factory, at least one of them, to get them started once more. Do any of you get yourselves involved in this, or do you just hope that he has it sorted with his makeshift team that he's put together?
Does he want us to come with him?
He seems
Now with
confident.
I mean,
we get
we'd
involved.
offer.
For now, would be up for getting involved.
Yeah, Sienna too.
Okay.
Don't you have the band thing at the same time? Or do you want
I mean,
them
I'm
to
not
manage
building
it for
this.
the day?
I'm not building the stage or writing the music. I'm just gonna make sure other people are.
Okay, then we'll man the
I'm the
band and the
manager.
thing. Make sure that goes well, almost as like a distraction to whatever is going on.
All right.
Being like, oh, this is the main big thing we're doing
Hmm.
today. To the houses, at least, until the power gets back on. But like, wow, look at that, the power of music. No, I'm kidding, but
What's the publication for
yeah,
the day?
something like that.
What do you write in the papers for this third day?
I guess it would be testaments from the hospital,
Mhm.
kind of flanking on House Mortem, why they aren't doing anything, why they're not giving orders to any of their staff to take the best care possible of the people, Empresses and Queen Timbra's whole
Their notes.
shebang,
Mhm.
their notes, yeah.
And also, since Talon did say that we are allowed to use his name, we might as well say where we're getting the energy from that was applying to the people.
Yep.
Because people will have noticed that we have a way of locally reinstating energy. So
Yeah,
that would
some
also
good
explain how
news.
we're printing the papers without giving away Mobius.
Yeah.
So
Good
Okay.
news that some people are recovering.
Also,
with the
want to
batteries.
put in a little ad in the paper, just charity concert
Yeah.
to take place.
Yeah.
If I've got a location, then I'd put that in.
Yep.
But
I imagine
If
perhaps in
not,
front of the
just a
academy
mention.
now.
yeah.
that's where I'd like to.
Just
If there's
right in front of
any
them.
more logistics that need to go through in
No,
order to
no.
make that happen, that's what I think it'd be good. All the students are already there,
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
and it's very public. It's right where the houses are gathered.
Yeah.
Or where the factories are. Bit of both.
So the factories are higher up into the mountains, so the academy is on the sort of level
Yeah.
floor. So you're kind of like
Yeah,
placing
yeah.
it there. You're creating this air of distraction whilst the others are going up top and infiltrating. With the publication kind of on hold until the power is returned, do you wait until the power is returned to bring it out to the public, or do you just post the?
I
No,
believe
that's
we
the
said
one.
the day after, right? About
The piece about which group or who's involved, or the fact that it wasn't the houses turning the power back on, the
Doing the
day
next day.
after the
That's
power
the
gets
day
put back
after.
on.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one we just talked about, that's today.
No, yep. Okay. You publicize, you press out, you see he just kind of like smoking his pipe, just looks over. Another 80,000. I'm getting a lot of coin for these. Here you go. You just
Wait, 80,000?
80?
He increased it!
Yeah.
Hey,
Bigger
yo.
steps.
People are eating this up outside of the walls, so
Even outside the wall.
That's 1,300 in our bank.
don't let the money get to your head. I need more. Keep bringing them. I'll keep bringing you coin.
Nice. Where's he getting all this money if the houses are there? Is this just his personal
I mean,
funds?
we are literally helping to supply.
Oh yeah, he's selling the
Like
newspaper.
he's selling
And-
the newspaper.
They're
Yeah.
selling them.
And he did say that they have ads, so if they're running ads, they're also getting money from there.
Well, what kind of ads are we running back?
The ads.
Babes in your
in one of
area.
the corners, it's the sending shack. They just kind of like.
Son of a
Nice.
bitch.
Wait, did they
Son of a
jump on
bitch.
the train though? Are they like, wanna tell somebody about what's happening in the city? Come to the sending?
Sure, yeah. If you want your
Nice.
voice heard as
Oh
well,
my
come to
word.
the sending
Ah,
shack for the mere
that's
price
That's what I'm
of.
saying.
That's a good line.
Fucking-
And then it shows all the destinations where they're in, all the sort of places around the world. So
That's just like it.
with no, it's everywhere. With this next publication out, with the band now in full swing, some of you go in towards the power plant, this sort of area where the power has been on hold. The gates are closed. There is a lack there of force, but there's maybe a few people manning it inside and out. There should be more people here, but there aren't. You find a way to break in as like rogue agents, essentially, to get this place back up and running. And as you do come across a couple of people that try and get in your way. But you see Talon just uses one of the devices that he's created. There's no like spark or anything that happens. It's quite subtle, in fact. He just kind of places a device that seems to be embedded within his sort of like under wrist and arm. And he just holds his hand out to them and they just stop and freeze. And then they just sit on the ground and they just look up to the sky. And they seem very distracted by it all, by nothing. And they just nods along. Okay, it should be up this way. And he just leads the rest of you up to the point in particular. You arrive to this manning station where there are several sort of inputs and strange sort of iconography of different runes and lever systems all here and across in a very widespread. All very confusing and unsure as to which ones to press, but there is a glass that kind of like stops and goes into another room on the other side that you can look into. In this other room, it is a blank slate. It is the whitest room you've ever seen, as there is not even the seams of the corners of this room that are visible. But the only thing that is here is two sort of spikes, one coming up from above and one coming down. Both of them have these tips of blue energy that has swirling elements of gold dust that are just going around. And every so often, they seem to almost move on some hydraulics to press into each other. But they haven't moved. They are still. Talon looks around alongside some of the other compatriots that he brought with him. Looks around. Okay, I think we can get this up and running. Doesn't look like there's anything outside of the ordinary. No abnormalities. We can get this running in the next couple of hours. Are we concerned that
we'll watch your back.
Anyone's going to come here and maybe stop us?
I think that's what Vanilla and me are for.
Okay.
Well, yeah, we'll keep an eye out.
Mm-hmm. Can the two of you roll perception checks, please?
Can I also, before we leave the room, yeah, sure, he checked it with the mechanic's eye. Can I, with my blind sight, sense if there's any, like, is there any bombs underneath the...
Fucking a nuke,
But
just
yeah,
waiting.
perceptions. Yeah, you know, they really don't want this thing back on. 10. I don't see shit.
Fennel, you can roll a perception check as well, since you're also there.
Yep. 9.
Okay.
Well, we tried.
I'm shit at perception.
Yeah. You both kind of keep a clear eye out, making sure that there's nothing out of the ordinary, trying to listen to see if there's anyone that's kind of like gotten into your path has either let you past or they've been kind of put into this stupor by Talon. Some of the people that work here, they don't seem that against what you're doing. In fact, some of them are kind of like helping out and just pointing at things that you need to activate and kind of turn on first that Talon hasn't quite considered. He's like, oh, yeah, that's probably a good idea. Thanks. And just kind of like pulls a lever and interconnects things. For now, you don't see anything physically in this room, nor do you see any, but you feel something. This place is a highly controlled facility that is probably well manned and looked after by security in both physical sense, but also magical. And through your blind sight, you've noticed several of these orbs that just hover around and watch. These are scrying orbs. These are orbs that are placed in certain areas to keep a sort of eye on proceedings and probably connect to someone's greater view of the entire facility here. You've not seen a room that is the sort of surveillance room. So this is probably all going to one place elsewhere.
Okay.
Wait, who sees this? Fennel or Sienna? Right.
I mean, there's no alarm going off. There's no one rushing towards us. So if they're just watching, that's odd. Unless they're not actively watching and they have to be triggered or something. I'm gonna ask, you said that some of the people who work here, who is the highest ranking person that's supporting us?
Mm-hmm. You go up to the one person that's kind of like managing the floor here, the sort of like main control system.
Yeah, perfect.
He will just kind of look you over. I'm not a part of the houses or anything, so I don't know if I can help you
No,
with any of your
just a
questions.
quick question. Really quick question.
Yes?
Do you know if someone were to keep an eye on this facility, obviously it would be family real and dear, but anyone in particular out of them? Anyone who uses
Devinter.
magic, maybe?
Devinter is the one who looks over proceedings, over everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think she's actively interested right now?
Well, she's
Just out
always
of your
watching those
estimation, I
orbs.
imagined. Always.
Always.
So she knows we're here.
She does.
Probably.
I'm sure she does.
Just makes eye contact with one of the orbs. Okay. Okay.
This needs to be done now.
She's not stopping us. Yeah, definitely. Do I know, just from experience, if what those things see can be recorded? Like, can she make a magical recording of scrying?
It's possible through illusion-based magic. If she's seen it and
Okay.
kind of like come across it, you've seen elements of like extracting memories and re-showing them in different ways and forms. Yeah, 100%. It's possible.
Great. Is this technically legal what we're doing? Probably, yeah, right? I mean, we technically broke in. But on the other hand, some of these people are working with us. We could argue, nah, they let us in. You know? I don't know. We'll see. If we get arrested for this, that's a shame.
You'll be okay. Like, there's a wider issue than just breaking and entering here.
Especially if you break something, that would be bad. Let's just not break anything. Okay, yeah, no. Sienna's gonna inform Talon of that. Just so he knows what he's risking, and yeah.
He'll just nod. I fucking hope they're looking. And looks up towards the orb. Fuck you. And just pulls on the lever and activates it. You see the two spikes touch into each other, and almost like a hammer hitting against an anvil. The sparks that ignite. The room was once filled with just like white colors and panels. Now you see this almost quasar of light that shines through, a mixture of the blue arcane brightness mixed in with the golden threads of like this almost divine energy that has been sparked. It's kind of pulling apart and is accentuating the entire room here. The panels now begin to absorb that energy and just take it away again. The sort of repetition of all of this as this is taking place within there, a spark of divine mixed with arcana spreading throughout. Down below, as the performance the stage is on full display, you just see Sandy and the Shaggers just screaming, "Turn on the power!" as they're just like screaming along, and then the lights just start illuminating across the city, including the printing press area as well. For Mobius, as soon as you're unplugged, you see all of the machines now stop whirring altogether. Jared is there kind of giving you a nod, handing over the next payment, and then all of the lights shine on and the printing press continues even though you're not plugged in anymore. And he's just kind of like nods along. Looks like they did it.
Looks like they did.
I guess we won't need you anymore.
Well, it was nice while it lasted.
Well, it was. Thanks for keeping this place afloat.
Thank you for letting us tell the truth.
The truth is always needed.
Kind of like shakes his hand.
Shakes your hand back with a firm grip.
Yeah.
Blows a smoke into your face. Yeah. If you ever need the job, just to come to.
You're the first person I think of.
You see one tear sheds as he walks away.
Oh my god. I fucking love this is my dad now.
This is now my father.
This is not my father.
Um,
Uh,
the publication goes through. Word of everything that's happening is now hitting the city once again, with the power now reinstated. All of the second factory is still inert. You've only activated one of them, but that seems to have controlled a lot of the sort of main infrastructure around the city. Some of the houses are still inert. A lot of the power supplied to the Swiftdrifter sort of like charging stations, they're all still inert. So they seem to still be provided by the other one. But for the time being, a lot of places are now up and running again. So you see people are now beginning to kind of cheer and celebrate as soon as the two of you begin to leave with the rest of Talon's group. As you've now left it with the people working there to kind of just keep the power on. They don't have the jurisdiction to turn it on or off, but they have the jurisdiction to maintain what's happening. So they just make sure that it's all operational and doesn't get turned off. So they're going to continue working as they did. You leave the front gates as you see people just cheering in their sort of masses as you kind of walk through. But with all of that said and done, that is the third day, I believe, finished and accomplished. Now you move on to the fourth day. No response from the houses. Nothing at all.
I'm getting so nervous.
Okay,
They're
at this
getting
point,
a fucking Twitter long ready. Like,
at this point, we just want to try and reach out to them and just be like,
I feel at this point they're just gonna put a rocket in the middle of the city with our names on it and just strap us in and send us off.
oh god.
I mean, the paper should really cover the turning on of the power, who is responsible. It should end with like an open call to the council, to the houses to
Like,
turn
see,
on
you could turn
the
it
last
on
one.
the entire time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like, why aren't the houses responding? Etc. etc.
Okay.
News that the concert went well.
We're so cooked. We are so
Wait,
cooked.
how much money
I'm
did
so
we earn
scared.
with the concert? I have to keep track.
It's a
How much money
charity
did we earn with the
concert.
Yes.
It
Yeah,
goes
but
to
like
the
to raise
people.
funds
We
to
get
like make
funds.
batteries to like help out the hospitals and things like that. So it's like open donation is like
Sure.
the method for
Yeah.
If it's open donations, then you would have amassed, let's say, in that crowd, there was maybe if each person put something in.
3 gold.
I'm trying to think what the average person would probably have and want to give into this. So we'll say overall, through the different sort of I imagine you use Thodane's sort of resources and the people that he has employed to have like donation buckets and things around different points.
Well, yeah, there might be like other smaller houses who would be interested in the larger houses losing influence and power and things like that, and they might want to make public donations or something. Or who knows?
Yeah, with all of that said and done, we'll say you end up amassing probably 70,000 gold across the entire performance, because you're reaching out to the entire city. If the entire city at least gives 1 silver piece each, and that's being quite sort of restrictive, they'll probably put more in per, you can make a lot of money. And this is the only thing that's kind of active enough in the sort of presence. You put the news out, you put the papers out, so you amass that much money that you can then put back into the rest of the infrastructure in places that need it.
Right. That's our
Who
charity
wants to
project
manage
funded. Tessa wants to. This is literally Tessa literally asked us for 50,000 to start with, so we're literally going to her and like, here. It's been a week. What the fuck did you do? Did you rob the bank?
Reading the news, so
Laundering the money, bro.
it would just give it in copper pieces too. It's just all copper.
No, just 1,300 of this is copper.
Yeah,
The
no, we
rest is
swap out
everything
our
else.
copper coin for the gold and silver that we got at the concert.
Just kind of weigh it up in bags. Like, yeah, that's about the same. Okay, here you go. Okay. Well, you have the publication going more towards the success of the sort of money that was raised, as well as hitting towards the power being reinstated by your own people, by the people itself, as well as putting the question forward as to what will the houses do next, since they could have done this the entire time. They let the city fall apart. Why aren't they acting to save it? Pushing this forward as your next publication, you see Jared gives you another lump sum of copper to take. He gives you 100,000 this time.
Holy
As
crap.
Damn.
Did we get reached out to by anyone outside the city?
at the
Is
moment,
anyone reaching out to us?
not at the moment, no, because the papers they take a while to arrive in the places they need to be.
Mm.
And you need to think of it this way, that the houses themselves, they probably have a big enough sway in other places with, because it's no surprise that they would also make partnerships with other continents, other cities, other infrastructures that perhaps people aren't going to be questioning anything until they hear about what the houses are doing. They may have reached out to the houses themselves, and whether they've received a response or not is up to them to share. So yeah, there's a lot of
Maybe they've just
maybe
been doing so much international publicity
Trying
that they
to-
can't deal with the national currently.
it could be very possible.
Mm.
Anything else that you do on this fourth day?
No, we want to try and contact just Davina and just be like, hey, the fuck? Just sit down at this point. No, okay. We
Like,
have
how
the
much
sending stuff.
deeper do you want to dig your hole, bro? Like,
Yeah, or like, can we come to a table? Can we talk about this? Can we be adults about this? Can you stop just sulking in a corner like a baby?
well, I feel like asking for a response from the houses is basically asking.
Yeah,
Fucking
but
come out and talk about it.
it also isn't us directly approaching one person. It's us approaching the entirety of them, and then they have to vote and probably agree that, yeah, we're all gonna... Aristocracy, you know, they're complicated. But if we speak to one person in particular, if we single one person out, we don't have to pick Devinta. We don't have to pick her. But we can pick one person. She's just, I think,
Sure.
one of the few ones we've actually interacted with.
We can, yeah.
We don't have to. We can just wait it out. But that gives them time to plan and coordinate and shit, so... Or we can reach out to Leviathan, because we've already sort of been singling them out, leaving them out of all the bad stuff we're saying, so we might reach out to
Let's reach
them.
out to Leviathan, ask if they want to have maybe their say in the newspaper, or if they want to have an open conversation.
Hey, do you want your newspaper back? Come talk to us.
We're holding a newspaper at gunpoint then. I'll take it.
Also give Jared bajillion gold.
$. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Such a big race.
Okay.
So we're reaching out to Leviathan?
How
we
are you going
can,
to reach
yeah,
out to
We
them?
can.
I mean, from the Empress's information, the current leader of House Leviathan, who is that? Are they relatively trustworthy? Is that a person? What does the public think of that person?
Yeah.
Just, you know.
The leader of
Who are
House Leviathan is an individual called Carver. Carver Leviathan. They are pretty
Great
much
name.
a scribe for the most part. They tend to be on the sea, traveling back and forth. They used to be a sort of traveling bard at one point before they became a house member. So they are someone who deals in a lot of sort of hearing what people have to say, bringing the information and passing along to the next and then the next and the next, with a mix of entertainment added in. They themselves aren't really based in Alakshayr. They tend to be out and about on the seas. But their sort of whereabouts is between Alakshayr the continent of Calzaria, as well as the Stanton Archipelago. So they go between those three areas to different tribes, to different main cities, and then back home again, gathering what they can and then doing the sort of circle back again. From what was last seen, they seem to be in the Stanton Archipelago, which is quite far away. So, but for them to get here would need to be instant teleportation or a long journey on sea, which is probably why you've not seen them or heard from them currently in this vicinity. In terms of what they've done or the public perception of him, not necessarily someone that's been too public, someone who gathers information and just passes it on. Nothing that has been in the mainstay of people's minds. That's why him, as well as his partner, the person who he works with, Bourgaver, the two of them are pretty much the same. They don't tend to be too focused. The paper comes first, the stories come first, and they come second.
And the partner, are they in Alakshayr? Or
They are
they
typically
also
based in
from
Alakshayr, yeah. So Bourgaver, he's typically based here, but not seen anywhere nearby at least.
Does sending specify that we know the person, or is it just name?
As long as you know the
think it-
name of the person in full, as well as somewhat of a description, so you're not basing it off of nothing, then you can attempt to reach out to them, yeah.
Oh, we can probably get a description from someone.
Yep.
We could reach out to him. If the current leader isn't in the city, we could reach out to the person who's closest to them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you try the scrying orb to communicate with them?
No! The sending stone!
Sorry, the sending orb is what I meant to say.
I mean, we could try that first.
No, because you have the orb that's sending. I just,
Yeah, we
in
have
my
the
head, I always
infinite
think
orb.
scrying orb. So sending orb, you can use that.
Yep.
Okay. You invoke it to try and cast a spell through. You feel nothing on the other end. You cannot communicate to the other side.
Oh, do they have like an anti-divination thing going on?
There's a couple of things it could be. Either they're dead, or there's an anti-divination thing in place. Those are the two options.
Could we send a letter to their house?
Good, yeah.
Hello.
Seems like they
Can
would
we-
appreciate that more than sending.
Can we
when you
go
think
to
about it.
their house? Do
Yeah,
we
you
know where
can-
they live?
They live in like the sort of richer area of the sort of it's behind the academy. It's kind of this isolated space. You have the royal estate that lives right on the edge of it, but then the road leading up to it is all filled with the other sort of like leading members, high society folks, and some house members live within this like main street and road. Bourgaver will live in one of them.
Right.
You have that information at your disposal from Empress Winona Shiva, so you can go and pay them a visit if you want.
Okay, proposition. We leave most obvious weapons. Everybody doesn't take all their giant swords. Me mostly. And we go there, friendly like, and just sort of knock on their door. And I'm like, hello, we'd like to have a conversation. Also, maybe slight disguises so everyone looking out their window doesn't go, oh, my neighbor's getting visited by the people that are pissing us off.
Sure, yeah. We'll make ourselves look more fancy, I guess.
Or that.
More
Big
Yeah.
mustache on, get the reporter's hat like, hi, we're the news.
Just
We
put a
are the
blanket over me, throw a whole
Stand in
tarp.
Madonna with Satterfield News.
We do that.
Okay. You head over towards the main road where all of these houses live, and it is eerily quiet as you're walking across the stone.
They all just leave.
You can sense that a lot of the places are being looked after by no one of their houses themselves, but a lot of their sort of servants and people that have been hired. They are currently just tending to the gardens and cleaning up things around the place, but doesn't seem to be lived in. Like, these places seem quite empty at the moment. You head over towards where Bourgaver's was. You can see that there is someone outside tending to the garden, making sure that the large sort of sculpted like ducks and different things made of bushes and trees are being kind of trimmed and looked after. You arrive and they kind of like turn their head. Can I help you with anything?
Yes, we'd like to speak to the boss of the house. Is he?
Oh,
is
he's
he at
not
home?
here. He's not here.
Would you happen to know where he is?
No, he didn't tell me anything.
When did he leave? Maybe we can still catch him.
Well,
Does he just leave, or?
it was a couple of days, maybe 3 days ago. He didn't leave a note or anything. He just wasn't there in the morning, and he's not been back. Quite strange.
Is
Normally
that
he leaves a
normal
message.
behavior?
No,
Okay.
not really. To be honest, it's. And she looks down towards the rest of the houses, these gardens where the workers are kind of tending to their gardens. My friends as well, they've said the same. A lot of these houses are empty. I'm not sure why.
Well,
Can we see
thank
if they're
you.
being honest
You can roll an insight check.
with us? Or if they're hiding information?
Are they all dead?
11, never mind.
Okay.
I don't see shit. Girl who killed the news. They all conveniently decided to take their yearly vacation.
Yeah, you know those
unaware
corporate
of the
retreats.
catastrophe.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Okay, but out of
They're like,
curiosity, since this seems to be a local thing, if we contact Carver, because he was not in the city when any of this happened, maybe he's not affected. So let's try and reach out to him with the sending stone.
Mm-hmm. You try the same. Nothing. Either dead or something is blocking the magic.
Is there any signs of like rushing or struggle around this neighborhood?
From the
Anything?
outside, looks like there's not much, but you can roll a perception
Okay.
check.
Ghostly gaze. I look.
And Sienna's
beyond the
meanwhile talking
wall.
to this gardener and literally going, "Did we take a look and see?"
I don't think that's a good
We're worried.
idea. I'd probably get fired
If you get fired, I'm going to pay you your salary double.
I quite like my job. It's not really about
No,
the money.
I get that. I get that. We also need a gardener. We can employ you. We have a
You're
lovely
trying to-
garden.
I'm sorry, but I don't think that. No, I'm. They pay
Listen,
me well.
something
They
could
look
have
after
happened.
me.
It's very possible that something happened to your employer. We're very concerned citizens. Extremely concerned. We just want to make sure everything's all right.
Roll a persuasion check. Van, you were saying ghostly gaze. Remind us what that does.
Would you really want to hire
I
someone who could just be bought out like that?
Exactly. Yeah.
I will give you the description, but essentially, you gain the ability to see through solid objects to a range of 30 feet. Within that range, you have dark vision if you don't already have it. The special sight lasts for 1 minute or until your concentration ends, as if you're concentrating on a spell. During that time, you perceive objects as ghostly, transparent images.
Okay. No, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. I will say the only thing that you might perhaps sort of pick up on is that there is a sort of cart that is here and sort of left in the side of the sort of driveway. Looks to be mechanical and operated by Arcana. You see like horses as though they're on a merry-go-round, like a Ferris go-round, like they're just mid-gallop. They're not activated currently. But as you use your ghostly gaze and look towards it, you can see a sort of hat that's left on the sort of next to the driver's seat, which implies that perhaps someone was there previously, or at least was going to be leaving or coming back. With the position of where it's facing, it looks like leaving.
So they haven't left yet?
Perhaps.
Or they were stopped from leaving
Perhaps.
in the cart? Is it in front of this house or in front of another house?
In front of this house.
Can I move a little closer to the cart?
It is within
Inspect
the
it?
perimetered gate, so with the failed persuasion check from Sienna, you'll see she kind of like puts her hand up. I'm sorry, you may
You
be
said
well-intentioned,
they
but
left, right?
well, he wasn't here when I got here in the morning.
But their carriage is still here.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit strange as well. Normally it was... That's why I was surprised.
No signs of a break-in?
No, nothing.
Magic?
Well, I don't know that.
Is it worth using detect magic? I feel like if they've been gone for 3 days, any signs of magic would have...
Yeah, probably be faded by now.
Yeah, and also from outside, we wouldn't be too much.
Well, I was gonna see if there's any lingering around the cart, but...
Perhaps I can let you look at the card if that's something you're worried about, but I can't let you go anywhere closer inside. I just wouldn't feel right.
That's okay. If we can just take a look at the cart.
Okay. And she opens
Could
the
we
gate.
ask you to go inside and have a look for him? See if he's inside?
I've been inside cleaning up everything. He's not anywhere.
Okay.
Take a closer look at the cart. How recently does the hat seem placed there? Is there dust collected on it, or...?
It's not dust. It's not
It
been that
seems-
long. But you'd also see the sort of contours of the like imprint onto the cushion as well, to where the seat was, perhaps where the sort of gripping is. All of you can roll investigation checks to see if you can ascertain a sort of timeline here.
Most of focusing
Oh
on
my
the
god!
hindsight. Holy
That's my
shit!
favorite one! This... I'm rerolling.
Oh.
I don't even give a fuck.
Hell yeah!
Well,
Whatever, bro. It's better than nothing.
Okay. Mobius, you can see a bit of a sort of imprint and mark, like residue that is very finite, and you can only see if you like really pay close attention. There's tiny elements of what looks like a quick sort of conjuration spell that's taken place here, and could be one of two things, because the elements that you see here almost represent bits of tiny flakes of ash that either the person who was sat here was disintegrated in the spot, or they've been teleported elsewhere. Without anything else to base this off of, these are the only things that you can think of.
What's Gil been up to?
we might have a problem.
Hey, Gilboo.
We're best buds now, right?
You haven't happened to like disintegrate any politicians recently or anything like that.
That'd be
But
crazy.
you never...
but-
Did he have
It's-
beef with the houses?
It's a little bit of a jump from crime lords to politicians, but
Mayor Gilgamesh storyline coming in.
Like, his beef was with the
Imagine.
crime lords. That was his entire thing.
He does it to wage war against the Queen of Ishvahi.
Oh my lord.
Wait, you know what? We have an in, right? We can contact him. We can just
Yeah.
ask
Does
him.
he
We're on
Yeah.
neutral terms.
Like the one we seen Gil place.
It's kind of like
on-
tiny specks that the only reason that you can imagine it being sort of ash in sort of particle is because it is tiny remnants of particles. So it's either something so minute that it's been destroyed and turned into this light texture, or it's residue from something else. So that's why ash is the only thing that's comparable to it. Because it's not dust, it's not like a sediment that's been just left here resting. This is something that has the sort of, not outline of, but the bespeckled markings of where someone was previously, which dust wouldn't do because grease marks wouldn't really adhere to that too quickly, at least.
Oh lord. Okay. Okay.
Is everything all right? Do you see anything?
Yes, yes, everything's perfect. You're right. No need to
Yeah.
worry.
Did
Okay.
the master of the house smoke or anything of that kind?
Oh, no. No, I'd never seen him touch anything.
A magic user, perhaps?
No, no. He wishes.
Didn't have a specific love for like pyrotechnics or anything of the sorts.
Now you're worrying me. What's going on? Oh,
No, everything's all right. We'll be leaving now. Everything seems to be in order. Do not be worried.
If you see anything, we'd really appreciate it if you'd let us know.
Yeah, we really need to talk to him.
okay. I will. Well, thanks for coming by nonetheless. And she'll just escort you out to leave the premises. Will you be contacting
soon as we're-
Gilgamesh?
As soon
Do
as
we
we're
ask?
out earshot. So should we contact him?
I really haven't mentally prepared myself to reach out to him.
Well, you don't have to do it.
One of us can
Well,
do it.
kind of has to be me, doesn't it?
Not
Oh,
necessarily.
No.
Honestly,
no,
Mobius kind of had a rapport with him, right? Kind of.
I can do it. He's my mess.
Okay.
I'll do it.
He's my mess.
He's my
He's
mess
my
is
man.
crazy.
You're not helping. You're not helping yourself, Frey.
This ring means nothing. He's my mess. Okay. So you contact Gil. You have the orb. Because you have the orb, what will happen now is rather than sending individual sendings, you have just a direct font of communication with anyone that you use with it. So rather than going back and forth with 25 words, you can just have this direct line with them. But they can refuse to listen to you because it needs to be something that is accepted, almost like picking up a call. So
But they do notice recording, right?
they
Just same time as
do.
Gil.
Okay, you have the orb.
Does he even know it would be Fennel calling? Probably not. He just
Yes.
someone's calling him.
He would know who the person is, yeah.
Okay.
Not
Cool
through
key
like
cards,
verbal,
cards.
but it's like sort of they begin to feel the presence of XYZ.
Sure. Fine. Hey Gil. Picking up.
It's quite a surprise to hear from you.
Yeah. I wasn't really planning on reaching out so soon. If
Did you miss
really.
me?
No.
Are you sure? There's a bit of a
Stop it.
tremble in your voice.
Yeah. It's a bit too soon for this, really.
Even
Well,
so
look,
am I.
fine. I'm gonna be upfront. All right, that's what you want. That's what I'll do. Are you killing the houses?
Which ones?
I don't know. All of them. Can't seem to reach any of them. The main ones, the big boys, the big fish.
The Alakshayr one? Them?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't fucking care about them lot.
All right. One more question. Anyone else who can do what you do? Telling people that Ash.
No one can do what I do.
You sure?
For certain.
Well, we're looking at a little bit of Ash.
Hmm. And
And he
thought
wasn't
to
a
call
smoker,
me.
we checked. Well, hey. Why not go to a
Why?
leading expert?
Am I living rent free in your head?
Well, I see a pile of Ash you do.
Just what I wanted.
I need to get back into the water. There's no ash down there.
No, there ain't. All this sand and sediment. Much different. Nah. Nothing I would have done. But I have handed out my weapons to unsavory people, so perhaps they view something. But, no, not me directly.
Right, okay. So there are others who can do what you do.
Well, I worked alongside the Rillandir house for a while.
Rolandir, okay. They didn't happen to mention any plans to any of their own intentions.
No. But they did work with, some people that are not the greatest, let's be honest. Your friend Thorn has a bit of a problem with a guy called Siren.
Yeah, we're familiar with the guy.
Well, I've seen things that they can do that don't quite make sense. And Rolandir and Siren, they had some dealings on with each other. The whole Dream Factory thing, there was a partnership between the two. And
Yeah, no, we worked that out.
you're saying there's a remnant of something left behind? There's a thing that some of them can do. It's like apparating into the real world and the dream world. Sometimes that leaves a little bit of a residue behind. So, yeah, I don't think they're gone. But, they're definitely not here.
Okay. How does one get into this dream world? Or
Well, first off, you got to have some dreams to aspire for, which I'm not sure if you do have any. Outside
rich
of
coming
that,
from you?
I had big dreams.
Not anymore. You've done yours.
Yeah, I've done them, but can't hurt a man to find new ones. Other ways of doing it, simply sleeping, or creating your own fucking portal of some kind. That's how they made the bridge there last time. Which, didn't you have a hand in doing something with that?
Yeah, we turned that off.
Maybe you could turn it back on then.
Something to think about. Okay. Anything else that might be useful for us to know?
What else is there to share? I think your friend Thorn can tell you enough about Siren. Bad news.
Yeah.
If you thought I was bad, he's worse.
I don't know. Always kind of figured Siren was bad.
Yeah.
Well, worse than you, sorry.
Thanks. There's some loose business that I've got with Siren. If you need a hand, let me know. I wouldn't mind paying him a visit.
Yep, okay, we'll keep that in mind.
All right. Perhaps it's a date then.
Oh, well. I wouldn't call it that.
No. Never kiss or tell.
You know
Right.
me, I'm a gentleman.
Fucking far from it, mate.
Take care.
Yeah. You too. Don't fucking call me again.
And he'll cut it there.
Frey, does Gilgamesh know you guys weren't boyfriends? Is he aware?
It seems like Gilgamesh is more aware of it than Fennel is.
Oh my god, bro. Did you hear any of that, by the way?
Yeah, it's
probably
all on
heard Fennel.
loudspeaker.
Is
Oh
it?
my god.
Everyone's just looking at Fennel. Just, Are you two...
What?
Never mind.
Me kill? No. Oh, honestly,
Okay.
that Finn, horrible.
Okay.
Look, so leans towards Sienna. Oh god, I think he doesn't know.
Well, but at least it seemed to be on acceptable terms. He gave us some actually useful information. And we do
Yeah.
have a ways to get into the dreamscape. We've been there before. We can get there again.
So, do we think what happened was the same thing they did to those people with the guns and with Wrath? They're stuck
Yeah.
somewhere in the dream realm.
Probably.
Seems likely.
Come to think of it, that creepy tattooed bald lady, we never managed to deal with her, did we?
Yeah. She got away.
Yeah.
Is this something that we want to look into, or do we want to ask others?
I feel like we should inform the Empress, see if she wants to do it herself. Maybe that's her chance to get a very significant lack over the families, after all. If she rescues them, they are indebted to her.
Yeah, and
True.
it's hard to say how the city could cope if all of the leaders of the major houses are suddenly gone.
Yeah.
You know, leaves a
That's not
huge
what I
power
believe.
vacuum. Well, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to miss them, but the transition probably didn't need to be so,
Immediate.
yeah.
Max, quick question. From what Sienna knows about scrying orbs,
Yeah.
Do you have to concentrate on them? Or do you just place them somewhere and then they're there?
Mix of both.
Even when you're on a different plane?
Mix of both. So some of them, they may not work interplanar. So perhaps there is a bit of a feed that needs to be more direct on the prime material plane. But people can pay closer attention to them. Some of them can have like alert spells around embedded within, so that if someone gets within a proximity, it then procs and then they can look at it. Or they have them stored on different devices, like other orbs that capture the information, almost like a recording, if you will. So there's different ways that it could be done. With how
So
this
those
sort
still
of...
being present doesn't guarantee it's actually still in the
Correct.
material plane. Doesn't mean that.
There may be somewhere else where they're kept, like perhaps a pocket plane or something. With this sort of level of security, you expect the sort of highest of the highest to be used, because this is literally a power source that, if used in the wrong hands, can probably cause a fucking nuclear meltdown or something like that. So, yeah, it's probably got recordings elsewhere that can be tapped into, no matter where they are.
Okay. Next course of action of ours to probably tell the Empress what we just found out. Because that seems like something she should know. And then also contact Lily.
We know way too many fucking people. Jesus Christ.
We're popular.
Yeah.
No, for good reasons, I fear.
No, best reason.
It depends.
Very
Does
much.
depend. Well, with the next sort of leg of your journey kind of coming into fruition, you have an idea of where all of these house members are and why they've been so quiet. We're going to end the session here today and pick it up next time to figure out where they are and what's actually going on behind the scenes, because you guys have pretty much stabilized everything. If you didn't get involved and kind of push towards this narrative, perhaps things would have gone much worse for the city overall. So you've done a good job kind of managing everything and dealing with the two egos of both the Empress and Queen Thimra being present. It's a delicate balance to have. But there we are. That's today's session. Thank you very much for everyone at home watching. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitch, all at rollxplay. We have a community server on Discord as well, rollxplay community. Join us there, and then you can get involved in the conversation, message us directly, and kind of ask us any questions that you do have about the campaign in general. I may not answer them, but sometimes I'm a little bit drunk, and I'll be happy to just like spill everything
Right,
that's
you heard it
happening.
here first.
Yeah, you had it here first. I'm easily convinced. We also have campaigns on other dates as well. So we have a campaign on Tuesday, which is run by myself, set in the same world, but focused on a different story. Then we have one on Fridays as well, which is ran by Robbie and is set in a different world altogether, surrounded by fae and whimsy. So those are the things that we do on a weekly basis. We have other things that we are announcing very, very soon. So follow us to know when those go live. We're very excited about a little announcement that we'll be making later on throughout the year, probably in the next couple of months. But once that happens, you will know. That's it from us here. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon. Take care in this heat wave if you're watching this live.
See ya.
Yep.